The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
It was like always the older guys, the experienced guys who got the most games. They would all be in the same group together. Suits, Zach Parise, all those guys. I was in that group, and Kirill was left out, and he was in the second group. And the second group was like the taxi squad guys. All of a sudden, like this kind of goes on for like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And like Kirill's not practicing with us. He's practicing with the other guys. So whatever. We weren't thinking anything of it. And then one night we got like at 9 o'clock, like text message on the phone. It's like Kirill Kaprizov, the guy that's never texted anyone. He doesn't like speak English. Or like, what's this guy texting the group for? All it says is like, what the I want to be with best players, not players. Like, and he's texted all the taxi squad guys are on one text message.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Showtime, baby.
All right, you goofy bastards. Time to get on after it. Welcome, wonderful people, to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. What is that, Marcus Foligno telling funny stories there?
Yeah, you remember a couple of years ago, he was talking about COVID protocols, and they'd have to break the team up into smaller groups, right?
I remember this story somehow. Did Zach tell us this story or something?
Well, no, we played the clip before of Marcus talking about it. And, Kaprizov was, after a while, thinking, well, why aren't I with the top guys? And he sends this group text message, maybe not realizing that some of the other guys from the taxi squad were on there, and they're all thinking, well, hey.
Oh, that hurt my feelings. Kaprizov meant to send this text message to a couple of the veterans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we had any idea everybody was on it, or he just didn't care that the other guys were on it.
He wanted to bitch about the garbage players he was being matched up with.
Yeah, and if you hear Foligno there, he mentions, it's the first time he ever texted any of us on these group texts that they've had going for a while. And he was just, hey, F you guys, I want to be on that squad.
That's good stuff. Marcus Foligno will be joining us this morning at 8:30. They had kind of a track meet last night, I understand.
Yeah, high-scoring game.
God, Marcus Foligno, fun guy. We had our first crack at him, a couple of weeks ago. We're trying to squeeze the guy in on the program every couple of Wednesdays to talk Pigs hockey, so we're looking forward to our next jaw jack and with Marcus Foligno.
He wasn't familiar with the show the first time we had him on. And,
no, he was not.
We dangled that big radio money in front of him, and he agreed to come on.
Yeah.
And he had, was this you, Dana, telling us the story off air where he all of a sudden started listening to the show? Just, what am I getting myself into?
He did?
And he had a complaint.
What is it?
Too many commercials. Too many commercials.
Yeah, that was his one comment, with his one feedback of the program, is that we have too many commercials.
Unbelievable. We'll talk to him about that today. We'll straighten him out. But here we are at the midway point in this godforsaken work week. Fair enough. We're getting there, I guess. Hey, we received a heads up from our promotions department here. They want us to let folks know that we still have some Tool concert tickets sitting around the office. They want our listeners to be aware we still got a few pair laying around, so don't give up if you're trying to win tickets. Listen this week for what they're calling your final chance to win your way into the concert.
And you might be wondering, well, does the morning show have tickets to give away today? Looking ahead, the answer is no. We do not.
No.
I guess that's after us. We haven't reached that level. We're on the taxi squad level right now.
Exactly, yeah. And we're going to send something in the group chat complaining about wanting to be on the big time level.
I'd like to give some Tool tickets away.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Are you going, Ashley, for your birthday?
No, I'm not.
I thought perhaps you were a Tool fan. Am I mistaken?
Yes.
Which I'm mistaken, or you are a Tool fan?
I'm not a Tool fan.
You're not a Tool fan?
No.
I misremembered that then.
Word is, listen to 93X this week, and you'll hear some kind of an obvious cue. Some big fat radio voice is going to tell you, now is the time to enter for Tool tickets. When you hear that cue, you text the word Tool to 651-989-9393. Not now. Don't do it now. Be listening. And that prize is provided by Jam Productions.
We must be running something that sounds like it's a ticket giveaway, because every once in a while we'll just see a whole ton of a text coming in that's a tool.
Yeah. I thought it was a personal attack. But you're right.
Yeah, I thought somebody was commenting on my biggest and most impressive feature.
Right.
I wasn't sure either why that kept coming.
We must be running some kind of cute ad, some kind of cute teaser, because every once in a while I get bombed with those same messages. Pretty cool night for a rock concert, Halloween night. Right?
Yeah, most definitely.
I'll bet there'll be some fun costumes at that show.
One of my favorite Halloweens was, oh, by God, Cubby, I'm trying to figure it out in my head 15, 20 years ago. Ozzy Osbourne played here in town on Halloween night.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Zach Wilde at that time, or who was playing guitar? Do you remember? Must not have been Zach Wilde, because you'd remember.
I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you. You'd think I would remember Zach. But anyway, sure that it wasn't all great. It wasn't all roses. Rob Zombie opened the show. But once Ozzy took the stage, I was just having a great time on Halloween night. However, it proved to be a devastating night.
Oh, no.
For one of our listeners. This was one of the coolest effing radio promotions I've ever been involved in. I've ever been lucky enough to be involved in. I don't know if it was Ozzy's people's idea or the Target Center. I doubt it was anyone's idea around here. We're a bunch of dopes around here. I doubt it was anyone's idea. The idea was to have, since it was Halloween night, have a costume contest at the venue at Target Center. And the top 3 costumes got to go meet Ozzy Osbourne in his dressing room before showtime. And so we pumped the hell out of this, and this was so much fun. There were so many great costumes. So we had a little beer party in the bar at Target Center, and the crowd voted on the top 3, and then me and the top 3 costumes got to go see Ozzy. And Ozzy, maybe I brought like 6 people down there, and Ozzy then personally dwindled it down to 3. It was something like that. And we got to get on stage, and then the crowd voted for the grand champion. I think you've been able to follow what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, there was a dude who, Wapple, you would have believed it was legitimately Macho Man Randy Savage. You would have believed from a distance, even up close, by the sound of his voice. Unbelievable. This dude was absolutely perfect as Macho Man Randy Savage. There was another costume that a dude made himself at work out of mirrors, and he made himself look like a transformer or a superhero. I've never seen anything like it. The dude made it himself with glue and mirrors at work. I wish I could explain it better than you'd have to see it to even understand it. And one other dude was Ozzy Osbourne. And also, he had the look, the mannerisms, the voice, everything. So at one point, I remember those 3 characters. There could be some more, long time ago. But I remember bringing those 3 characters down into the basement at Target Center to meet Ozzy. And I had one prior interaction with Ozzy Osbourne up to that point in my life. So I was also really excited, but also nervous, because my first interaction with Ozzy Osbourne was not a good one. He was completely lost in space, and, you know, my assumption, I hope Ozzy doesn't take offense to this if he hears about it, my assumption was that he was pretty drugged up. The first interaction, it was not good. That was also a case where I had some listeners with me to meet him, and they all kind of walked away disappointed. He was just goofy that evening. So there was a mix of excitement and nervousness as we were going down to see him. I was hoping, I hope he's in better spirits. I hope he's not so doped up or whatever the problem was the first time around. I was very pleasantly surprised. I was the first to go in and talk to him before I brought the Halloween costume contestants in there, and it was like talking to my life partner, Cubby. He was funny, and he was upbeat, and he was just as clear as a bell. so thankful and appreciative. It was just, it threw me. And I was just having a fun time talking to Ozzy. And then it was time to bring in the Halloween costume contestants. And this is where one of them walked away absolutely devastated. I bring in the Macho Man Randy Savage guy. And Ozzy says, "Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. Oh, you look exactly like him. You snap into the Slim Jim, man." You know, he's so totally excited to see the Macho Man Randy Savage guy walk in. In comes the Mirror guy. And Ozzy's like, "Oh, my God, how did you even do such a thing, man?" And the guy explained, I don't know if my Ozzy imitation is working.
It's good.
But the guy got to explain to Ozzy how he made the costume. And Ozzy was just floored. "Oh, that's so great," you know. And then I say, "I got one more for you." The Ozzy costume guy takes one step into Ozzy's dressing room, and Ozzy says, "No."
That would be heartbreaking.
That would be awful.
And what a dick, by the way.
Yeah. And the Ozzy guy, the character, the Halloween Ozzy, goes, "Ha ha ha, yeah. Anyway, Ozzy, I just wanted," and Ozzy again says, "No, get out. No, leave." He throws the guy out.
So rude.
That's good. It's heartbreaking.
It was
I mean,
cold-blooded.
he's obviously the biggest fan.
I know.
And that's how he's going to treat him.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
messed up.
Now, don't get me wrong. It was upsetting, but also kind of hilarious and kind of awesome to be there to see that happen. Me and the Mirror guy and the Macho Man guy had further conversation with Ozzy, and then we leave. "Thank you very much, Ozzy. We'll see you later." We go into the hallway, and the Ozzy Halloween guy is just absolutely devastated.
He's still just standing out there. You guys are just having
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
time.
I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Ozzy, this is the best time ever.
Waffle, you're exactly right. We're in there going, "Ah!" "Oh, Ozzy, it's been so nice to spend 20 minutes with you." We walk out in the hallway, and the guy's like, "I don't know what I did wrong. Why is he mad at me? What did I do?" And I just, "Hey, it's okay, man. It's okay."
Just picturing a guy dejected, like standing, skips a concert, standing outside in the rain, trying to hail a cab, crying.
But
No one could bring him back. Like, he just had to stand
he
there.
just stood there. But you got to understand, I mean, okay, it didn't end well for the guy. But if you remember, I think I said 15, 20 years ago, this was the height of the Osbournes television show run. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we have to assume Ozzy was probably pretty sick and tired of everyone making fun of him.
Sure.
I mean, he put himself in that position. He agreed to be on this television show that he might have known was going to make him look like a total buffoon. But I think he was just at his wit's end with Ozzy imitations and Ozzy jokes, so he just threw the guy smooth out.
I never missed an episode of The Osbournes. That was a show I kept up with.
That was a lot of fun.
Back then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it was weird, and this has been discussed, over and over and over since the show happened. But I was always, since a little kid, kind of scared of Ozzy. I mentioned before, he was like the first artist with Black Sabbath and stuff that I really got into when I got into rock. And as a solo artist, he's one of my favorites. And I was always told all these scary stories about him, how he worships the devil, he bit the head off the bat, all this kind of stuff. And I watched the Osbournes, I'm like, he's like a goofy grandfather.
Yeah.
I was scared of this guy since 6th grade.
Uh-huh. Then you see him like trying to work a TV remote. You're like, oh wait, just a drunk grandpa.
Yeah, it was fun though. I did like that show. There's been talks they're going to bring it back, and then they say they're not, and then they are. I wonder if that's ever going to happen.
I'm okay with it staying away.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I liked Ozzy on that program. I liked how he was just so lost. I like seeing all the little dogs. He had like 11 chihuahuas.
Right, they'd be running around everywhere.
And 6 Pomeranians living in the house.
It was kind of fun seeing how he lived. You just expect him to sleep in a coffin or something like that, but that's not the case.
I thought, what's his name? The son,
Jack?
Barry? What did you say?
Jack.
Jack was kind of a funny character. That was about those are the characters that I enjoyed. What's her name drove me nuts. What the hell is this? Powder Coat Jesus is texted in, and he says, "You got to look this up. Zach Wilde currently works at a record store." Why is Zach?
He doesn't. Where does he say currently?
Look up I guess I made that assumption.
Yeah.
Zach Wilde works at a record store?
Yeah, look up that. So maybe he must be a bit.
Oh, I thought maybe the man was down on his luck and he was working.
For record store day, he did a bit there.
Well,
This looks like it's from about 5 years ago.
My assumption is that you were claiming the man has
6 years
run out of money and by the way, not many record stores left, are there? I still like to hit, what's the one over there on 55?
Down in the valley?
Yeah. I still like that.
I always
One of our
went to-
co-workers' husbands is a big wig there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Ryder.
I did not know that.
I always liked going to Electric Fetus, too.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Electric Fetus. And then there's one that I've hit a few times in the last number of years up there in Blaine. Cheapo, maybe?
Oh, yeah, cheapo.
There's a what's that restaurant that sells pies to old folks? Baker's
Baker's
Square.
Square?
There's a Baker's Square right there. You guys know the one I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's massive.
There
It's
was
massive.
I don't know if it's still there, but there was a cheapo off of Snelling for a while in St. Paul.
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it still there?
They moved it across the street, so it's smaller than it used to be, but it's still there in some capacity.
My uncle lived right behind it, so we'd go anytime we visited my uncle, we'd hit cheapo records.
I still love buying the actual CD, even a cassette or two if you got one, because I still have the setups to play CDs and cassettes. And that just brings me back to junior high. I mean, this cheapo joint, I think I have the right name, up there in Blaine. They even sell posters and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm an eighth grader again. I'll just sift through the posters. I bought a poster there a year or two ago. I bought a big fat Kiss Destroyer poster. Put a frame on it. Hung it in my house. The record store. Oh, right. Zach Wilde is on tour with Pantera currently.
Yeah, he is. Have you seen any of those videos?
No, did they come through town? I thought they were coming through town.
They were at Rockfest last year.
I thought they had some show. Anyway, no, I have not seen what they look like together, Zach Wilde and Pantera.
Oh, it's pretty great from what I've heard. Yeah, some of the videos I saw.
And what's his
Zach
nuts
just
on?
looks so cool.
Does he? He's not still doing the Captain Caveman thing, is he?
He is.
Oh, for God's sake. And the drummer is that terrific drummer. The dude who was in Dream Theater, right, Josh? Then he played with Twisted Sister.
Mike Portnoy?
Yeah. Isn't that who's drumming for Pantera now? Or is that the liquor talking?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm right on that. And people are texting, I can't believe you were in Blaine. Hey, there's nothing you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. And I was going to make mention of that. I think I just proved how much I still love going to record stores that I went to friggin' Blaine to do it.
It looks like Pantera's current drummer is Charlie Benetti.
Ah, that's it. Charlie Benant from Anthrax.
Yeah, from Anthrax.
Oh, that I got twisted around there. That's right. Charlie. I forgot the rap from I'm the Man. Charlie. Remember I'm the Man?
Oh,
Josh,
I love
by
that song.
I forgot.
Was that in one of the Guitar Heroes? I know Cotton Amash was. Was I'm the Man in it? I really enjoyed that song. Speaking of, I was thinking of Guitar Hero because we started, for anybody podcasting, we started with Wild Side, Motley Crue Wild Side, and such a cool opening riff. A few people even commented on it, like, wow, Mick Mars could come up with some cool riffs. But I got sick of that song when we first got into Guitar Hero, and we had a Guitar Hero contest. We could have planned this a little better. We had them all do one song, which made sense at the time, right?
Yeah.
So we could
keep it on the even level.
Yeah. And so we played. It was over and over and over.
Oh no!
I'm over it at this point. Speaking over, but that was a little too much.
Yeah.
I think we were even getting texts going, "Okay, we get it. Wild Side, Motley Crue, we heard you."
Good Lord.
So, Nick, Pantera's coming around with Metallica.
Ah, that's it. I knew there was something there. That's exactly it.
Yeah,
they're coming to town. They're going to play one of the shows with Metallica there at the new Metrodome.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay. That's great. I appreciate that. I was losing it there.
The show that was announced 2 years ago and is still 3 years away from right now.
Right. Right. Josh.
That is great, isn't it?
We were talking about I'm the Man from Anthrax, which was a huge hit in '88. Really put Anthrax on the map, and I was trying to remember the reference to Charlie Benante in the rap. Charlie beat the beats, the beat you beat. The only thing hard is the smell of my feet. So listen up, because you might get dissed. Go drain the lizard or take a chair. Man, watch the beat. I'm on your case. I'm in your face. I'll kick you and your... I don't know.
Are you guys familiar with that song?
No.
Well, you must be.
I'm not familiar
You're
with that
not.
one, but
I bet if you heard it, you would recognize it.
Yeah, I do love Anthrax. I saw him one time at where was it?
Young people don't know I'm the man.
Oh, Skyway Theater.
Skyway Theater.
Yeah.
I bet they played I Am the Man.
I was really impressed with Joey. I was really impressed with Joey Belladonna.
Joey Belladonna, the singer.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? Sometimes he'll sing. He'll sing at like ball games.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen some of those?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
very good.
I was there. I was there once when he sang the national anthem at the old Metrodome.
Huh.
Yeah, me and my dad went to a Vikings game. Just got settled into our chairs. And God help us, this is a long time ago, but the PA announcer says, and now please rise and remove your caps as whatever, polygram recording artist Joey Belladonna. Did we have the right name?
Yeah.
Joey Belladonna,
yeah.
Joey Belladonna sings our national anthem. And everyone in our section said, who the hell is Joey? And I said, out loud, I went, what? And I stood up, and I mean, of course I'm going to stand up, but I shot up before anybody else did, and I looked out on the field, and it's friggin' the lead singer of Anthrax. And I said to my dad, that's Joey Belladonna from Anthrax. And my dad said, I didn't understand a word that you just said.
I'd have to look around, too, like, wait a minute, am I hammered? What's going on?
Uh-huh. So this is a long time ago. You're saying he still goes around and sings anthems at ball games?
Well, I just know he's done it a number of times. Yeah, I don't know if he's still doing it.
He's the only old guy that can pull off a flat brim hat. He was wearing a flat brim hat when I saw him on stage. I was like, okay.
Well, in the old days, in the I'm the Man days, they would push the brim back up.
Yep.
Is that what you're referencing?
No, it was just a flat brim hat like you see kids wearing nowadays.
Like you see the skateboarders, it says Red Bull on it usually.
Yep.
You know who else wears one of those? A man in his 50s? Our radio doctor, Dr. P.
No, he does
Yes,
not.
he does.
Not. No.
He sure does.
He wears the flat brim hat that says Red Bull on it.
Yes!
Now that you say Red Bull, it was a Monster hat he was wearing because they were sponsored by Monster. Because Ian had Monster wristbands too, and they had a big Monster banner in the back.
Well, how about that?
Yeah, back in the late 80s, if you were a thrash metal artist or fan, like Anthrax or Anthrax fans, you take the bill of your cap and you push it up against the crown of the cap, so then you can write something on the underside of the bill that would say, dope or something like that. That was the look for a while. So as this rap is winding down, it's plain to see that we wear the crown. You know Anthrax is number one, but we don't care. We just want to have
Fun.
a festival. Fun, you stupid idiot. God, those were fun days, Josh. That reminds me of just slugging liquor and hating my parents.
You never hated your parents.
Showing up 3:34 in the morning on a school day and physically fighting my dad in the driveway before school.
That also never happened.
That's healthy.
I used to have to fist fight. Neither one of us had a shirt on. I'd say, I hate you, you son of a bitch. And he'd say, Anthrax sucks. Your music sucks. Try listening to Charlie Pride once in a while, he'd say. And I'd say, screw Charlie Pride. Thrash metal's where it's at. I hate you, Mom.
Did Anthrax get any crap for that song, I'm the Man?
What do you mean crap?
Well, you got this metal band doing some rap.
Oh, yeah. That kind of crap? Absolutely. Yeah. It was not embraced. Kind of like when Aerosmith did Walk This Way. People
which people say now revitalized their career.
It saved their friggin' career, yeah. At first, purists hated it. But then you can't deny it. You just can't. It was catchy. It was fun. The lyrics to I'm the Man are so stupid.
That's what makes it more fun, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You want to try again, Ashley?
Sure.
Because you tried, you said, you guessed wrong. in the rap from I'm the Man earlier. Try this one. Now we're Anthrax and we take no and we don't care for writing hits. The sound you hear is what we like, and I'll steal your Pop-Tarts like I stole your...
Bike?
Socks! Yo, what's the matter with you?
Seriously.
Charlie.
You have no musical talent whatsoever.
It's so frustrating. I hate this song.
This is fun. I'm the Man lyrics trivia with someone who's never heard it before.
And then getting extremely angry at them for not knowing them.
All right, try this one.
Go ahead, Josh.
Chuck, Chuck, Bo Buck, Banana,
Oh.
Fana, Fo.
Fana.
There you go. Finally, you redeemed
Yay.
yourself.
Thank you. Makes me feel better.
We've got real deaf rhymes and fresh new jams. Now, here's your last chance with me, Ashley. We've got real deaf rhymes and fresh new jams. If you think we've got egos, well, we're just hams. Oh, that's kind of where the half has been. Scott plays stickball and likes to skate. Frank is never on time. He's always...
Late.
sleeping. Yo, watch the beat. They're on your case. I'm in your face. I'll kick your butt.
That's really frustrating. I wouldn't be
Sleeping.
able to listen to that song. It would make me so mad.
Check that out on your
Well,
way
that's
home.
what makes it fun.
Young people on your way home when you're driving, punch up Anthrax, I'm the Man. All right, we better get going again. What's going on today? Oh, we mentioned Dino Von Houseworthy.
Marcus.
Foligno is going to join us at 8:30. Randy Shaver, this and that. What a great baseball game last night. We'll talk about everything before we get out of here. We'll be right back on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Millions of listeners and thousands of five-star reviews rave about the hit podcast series In the Red Clay, the unbelievable story of Billy Sunday Burt, the most dangerous man in Georgia history.
He was a whiskey man, bank robber, hitman. He was a murderer. He's also my father.
Seasons 1 and 2 are available to binge right now, and bonus episodes are coming soon. Imperative Entertainment presents In the Red Clay. Get the podcast wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, we're coming out hot here. We're going to kick this edition of the Stupid News off with a real keeper, by God. It's a story of deep, dark shenanigans from a bachelor/bachelorette party. Half and half type of a deal, I guess. I don't believe in such a thing, but some folks do. A half and half party. Half bachelor by God et.
Never been to one.
No, it's wrong.
One of those combos.
It's
Anybody
wrong.
here ever been to one?
I've been to one, yeah.
No.
It's a lot of fun.
It is wrong, is what Dana meant to say. Now, if this is all BS, well, then it's just another attention-starved dork playing around on social media. But if this is a true story, I'm going to go ahead and say, if it's true, this is the biggest disaster since the dawn of public alcohol consumption. The word is that this mixed bachelor/bachelorette party had to be shut smooth down after a BJ went sideways. Noggin gone wrong. So here's the deal. The two groups of partiers barrel-assed into Amsterdam for their hell-raising. I have a buddy who went over there and said he never wanted to leave.
I can imagine.
Always wanted to go there.
I've heard wild stories.
He wanted to stay for the rest of his life. What's funny right here is there's a side note in the story that says, Amsterdam has developed a reputation as a party town.
What?
Not exactly breaking news, but I appreciate the heads up. Anyhow, so here are these partiers, guys and gals. They're letting their buck in Amsterdam. They're hitting all the bars with the hookers and all the XXX rated activities and this and that. Celebrating the upcoming marriage of somebody or another. And it says here, according to one of the partiers, one of the girls was super drunk and went into one of those booths with a glory hole. And when she walked on in there, some clown already had his gear poured through one of the holes.
Just waiting.
Waiting for a taker.
Any second now.
And she took. Now, they go on to say that this glory hole setup featured a button that either folks can push where they then would be able to see who's on the other side of the wall ski.
Uh-oh.
I think I would push that button.
Absolutely.
Whatever side of that I'm on. And you might be surprised at how willing I'd be to be on which side.
Beggars can't be choosers.
There is a button. You can push it.
Has anyone ever been to an establishment that had a glory hole?
Maybe.
Maybe. Was it in the great state of Minnesota?
Maybe.
Maybe. We had a half-assed one here for a while. You remember that in the bathroom?
It was very high.
It was high up there. Yeah.
Didn't somebody put their fist through it or something?
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, right.
The wall between the men's and women's room.
Somebody looked down at their penis and then punched a hole in a wall in the men's room. So, do you remember where we were at? Yeah. Glory hole. Gal goes in there. Dong is hanging loose already. She hits it.
Why not?
After this anonymous skull was complete, the drunk gal thought it would be cute to see who was on the other side. So she pushes the button. She looks up. And it's your dad.
I would instantaneously drop dead.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's your dad.
I would combust.
I would be throwing up the rest of my life.
I can't think of anything worse.
It's hard. I thought this was going towards brother, and it somehow was worse than that.
Yep, I was going towards brother.
Dad.
Oh, no.
And apparently the horror and the life-altering drama that ensued was so overwhelming that the party was broken smooth up. It was so traumatic for the gal and her father that everybody went home. They also say here in the story that mom found out and she's not exactly pumped about it.
That would kill the party mood. Yeah. Even if I had nothing to do with that and I never met those people before, I think, well, I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this anymore.
I think I would need more alcohol. I wouldn't want to remember this situation.
I don't think there's enough alcohol in the world, Ashley.
No, there is not.
Well, I think you got to try, though. Ashley, you're right.
You have to try.
I mean, you're saying if you were on the father-daughter, if you were involved in the father-daughter glory hole, you'd need more alcohol?
Yeah,
Dana's right. There's not enough booze.
Whether I was, the daughter in this situation or whether I was just a bystander watching this, that would take a while.
If I'm a bystander, I'm staying all night because I don't want this night to end. You know what I mean?
Not me.
No.
If I'm a bystander, I don't want, because you're sitting at ground zero of one of the most hellacious moments in human history. I don't want that night to end. I want to sit at the bar and tell everybody who walks in, do you know what happened here a half hour ago? Sit down. I'm going to tell you.
It's bigger when it's warm out, Jesus says. Do you think she got grounded? Yeah, she had her TV privileges taken away for sure.
No cell phone use for a week.
These folks know how to take it up a notch.
I don't know if I'd ever be able to see that person again.
No, you would never. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to. I would say, I think I could make a phone call the next day and say, our relationship is over. I'm sorry. It's like what Shawn Michaels said to Ric Flair. I'm sorry. I love you.
So beautiful.
Super kick,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
And then a super kick.
So imagine going back to work the following Monday, and someone's like, "Oh, you went to that bachelor party? How was it?"
No, I did not. I wasn't there.
How much time you got?
I would deny that I was ever there.
What if she never hit the button to see who it was, and they were just trading stories back and forth the rest of the night? So the dad would be like, "Oh yeah, we were at that bar, and I used the glory hole," and then the other girl is talking to her friends. "Oh yeah, remember the glory hole?"
Does anyone know what's happening right now?
Yeah, I understand where he's going.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sitcom where they're talking to their friends, and then at the end they
piece
find
it
out.
together.
They're kind of side-eyeing each other like, wait, what time were you in there?
Yeah.
And was there a piercing on this penis? Texas carpenter Jesus said, "This is no joke. My brother ran a glory hole out of his condo in Arizona."
How'd that go?
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, that's one hell of a story.
Could you guys go through with that?
No.
Glory hole?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. A lot of maybes coming out of you today.
Yeah. All right, that is one hell of a story.
It's great.
Yeah, probably not real, but that's fun.
It's fun to talk about.
Stomach's a little upset.
Is your stomach hurting a little
Yeah.
bit? Josh, if you ever need help with your erections, first off, I could give you a couple of phone numbers, and you'd be taken care of. If ever come a day, Josh, where you need boner pills, I believe that you'd rather steal the stuff than buy it straight up over the counter because the embarrassment would be too much for you to handle. Am I correct in that assumption?
I think so.
You'd rather just pocket it and run out of the pharmacy as opposed to paying for it?
I wonder if you can get the real deal online where they deliver it or something.
Mm-hmm. I get embarrassed buying condoms. So, yeah, boner pills would take it up a notch.
I used to as well because I thought they'd look at me like, "Yeah, right, buddy."
Yeah.
Who are you buying these for?
What, is this for a collection? You're clearly not using these.
Here's a guy who went that route, stealing hard-on pills. But my guess is it was more about being a derelict criminal than being a question of shyness or humbled pride or anything like that. I think this guy's just a scumbag, a 23-year-old Florida dickhead. He's in trouble after he handed a pharmacist a bizarre note demanding a pile of different prescription drugs, including Viagra, or else he was going to shoot somebody. The local cops say a kid named Thomas Muse wrote the note and then went ahead and handed it in at a CVS store. The note said, "This is an armed robbery. Please cooperate. I don't want to hurt you. You are not to alarm anybody, or I will shoot the closest person to me. Please follow these directions, or I will," and he says it again, "I will shoot the closest person to me." There were 6 or so different types of drugs he was looking for someone to bag up for him. Oxycodone, hydrocodone, Xanax, Myscletra, Clenfartrinsol, Adderall, liquid codeines, and Viagras.
A couple of those have some serious side effects.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, you want to talk side effects?
Yeah,
absolutely.
we talked about that, yeah.
Now, cops caught this puke and cuffed him as he was walking out the store. He had all the dope on him, and his well-written note was also in his pocket.
The note is pretty funny. I mean, he makes bullet points.
Yeah.
You know? Like he formats it and stuff.
Yeah, his handwriting is quite nice.
There's some spelling errors and grammatical errors, but still, you know.
Oh, I didn't see that. Maybe because I'm not a strong speller. I compared it to my own handwriting, which is garbage. And I thought, this kid's got to have something going for him. He's got fairly decent maybe I'm looking too deep into what handwriting means about people. Mine is, you can barely read what I'm trying to. At any rate, this kid admitted to traveling. I don't know how long of a trip this is, but he admitted to traveling to Orlando, Florida, all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, to carry out his plan. And he also confessed to pulling off another similar robbery in some other part of miserable-ass Florida.
So that trip is 2 hours.
2 hours?
According to Google Maps here.
Oh. Well, that's kind of cute that he had the note and he wanted the boner pills and everything. But we keep hearing that young fellas, they want to take a ride on the Viagra horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We keep hearing that young fellas are trying it because they want to keep a perma-bone with their girlfriend for 6-7 days. And we've heard so many bad stories about what that can do to a young fella. You got to knock it off with that. I mean, not that I don't know what oxycodone and hydrocodone. I'm sure that's all dangerous too. But young bucks, knock it off with the Viagra. It might kill your penis forever.
I got a buddy that got messed up on that oxy pretty bad.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's some nasty stuff.
Yep. That nearly ruined his life.
I don't know anything about it. I've heard it said out loud. What do? Smoke it?
No, it was pills. He had a major back surgery. You know, the type where they go in from the front and remove your organs, right?
Oh, my gosh.
So they put like vibranium or something in his spine, and he was on that stuff, and he got really addicted. He'd never done any drug before, but he got addicted big time.
Yeah, I've heard it's very, very easy.
Oh, man, it's bigger when it's warm out, Jesus has texted the program, and there's a drug he'd like to talk about. He just heard about it via a bachelorette party that happened in Amsterdam. The drug is called Blow Dad Install. You had to be here a few minutes ago to follow that one.
I hope she doesn't become dependent on that. I hope that was a one and done.
I need it. Wait a minute. No, don't go in there. I need
that
Blow
drug
Dad
will ruin
Install.
relationships.
Yeah. And Dad is her enabler, isn't he?
Oh, I can't even imagine.
If he's in there. That story. That's my favorite story. You guys, you telling me that you would leave that situation? You would leave that scene?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
No.
No, I can't handle that type of secondhand embarrassment.
I love secondhand embarrassment. I'd be making T-shirts to commemorate the date.
Don't get me wrong. I couldn't wait to tell all my friends. Right? My friend. Sorry, I made that plural. I couldn't wait to call you, Nick, and tell you exactly what happened. But yeah, I'd have to get out of there.
Be telling everybody. This year has a scary Halloween type of a vibe to it, I guess. First, I should ask a question to the young people on the program over there in the other studio, Dana and Ashley and Wapple. When you folks aren't staring at your cell phone or sucking on a vape stick or shouting, "Let's go," do you ever play a video game by the name of Diablo IV Season of Blood?
No.
Diablo 4?
IV. He doesn't know Roman numerals.
Imagine you've seen Rocky 4 so many times.
Wait a minute.
You got blood and IV. Yeah, right, true.
See,
Very true.
Well, that's what happened to me there, what Josh just said. I see blood and then IV. I figured that's the route they were taking.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah,
but
I saw what happened to you there. But yeah, you've mentioned before you don't know Roman numerals.
Well, hell, do any of us know Roman numerals by sight?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Who does, Josh? You do?
We learned them in school. You guys didn't do that at all?
No.
I'm sure we did, but I checked out during that lesson.
I learned them from renting WrestleMania tapes at Video Update.
Once it gets up to like what the Super Bowl's at nowadays, I can't get that far, but
Oh.
like basic 1 through 10. Yeah.
Oh, hell no. I must have missed that class. No, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I know
clue.
Rocky IV by looking at the cover of the DVD. That's how I know Rocky IV. Here's the deal. To promote this new game, the folks behind the game are going to give away a, quote, custom liquid-cooled personal computer infused with real human blood.
That's pretty sick.
That sounds pretty sweet. Yeah.
You're able to follow what I'm saying?
I could see
Yeah.
you guys getting involved in that.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
This gimmick is also meant to encourage blood donations to hospitals here in the United States. So from now until November 20th, they want gamers to swing by a blood donation center. You spill some. They're hoping to jar up a good 666 quarts of blood before that November 20th date that I was telling you about. At that point, whatever this means, the liquid-cooled personal computer with real human blood will, quote, go live. I'm not sure what that... It goes on sale? What is happening?
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm assuming.
There's all kinds of
sick,
other...
bruh.
Is it sick?
Yeah. Like in a gross way.
Oh, in a gross way. There's all kinds of other dorky video game prizes you can win if you get involved in this. Now, not to kill the buzz, but the story wraps up by saying that having human blood floating around your computer is unlikely. Whoever knows these types of things says that it's more likely some dehydrated blood used as a paint pigment behind a gloss coating. I don't know what I'm talking about. But there is some element of human blood.
Yeah, can you imagine having to explain how you got hepatitis? So Dana, Wapple, and Ashley, you'd all be interested in purchasing this computer?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yep.
All I of you, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, right now, even you could get Diablo 4 on sale in the PlayStation Store.
Like you can play it on your PSV?
Yeah. Yes.
Have I gone too far?
Some people are doubting that, Wapple, you can write down 1 through 10 in Roman numerals right now without looking it up on your computer.
Really?
Ready? Go. Dana, keep an eye on him. He's not looking at it on his computer. Go. Write down.
Right now.
1 through 10, Roman numerals, and then bring it over to me and Josh. Is he writing, Dana?
He is.
He's writing.
Writing.
Okay.
Well, Dana, you can read it.
Yeah, he's doing
It's a
well
long
so
walk.
far.
Is he doing well? So you would know these things, that he's correct or not,
Yeah.
Dana? Oh, wow. Everyone knows Roman numerals around here but me.
I bet
No,
you guys
I don't
learned
either.
it,
It's okay, Nick.
and you just were sleeping.
Oh, thank you,
you slept
Ashley.
through a lot of classes.
I slept or I didn't. I know Roman Reigns. How did he do? He wrote them down 1 through 10.
Yeah, he nailed it.
What the hell?
Dude, okay.
Well,
That's
read
awesome.
it. Read it. I want to see if you know.
I.
Yep.
I.
Right.
I.
Yep.
IV.
That's right.
V.
Here you go.
VI.
There you are.
VII.
Keep going.
VIII.
We're almost there.
Oh, I think you missed this one. VIII.
No,
Yeah,
no, it'd be
it's IV.
IX, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then X.
So,
he's
but
close.
he got the X.
9 out of 10 ain't bad.
90% ain't
No.
bad.
Impressive.
You're right. IX out of X ain't bad, Wapple.
You rose to the challenge because a few listeners texted in and they said, that friggin' Muppet doesn't know Roman F me running numerals. But you did. All right. I missed that. Ashley and I, we don't know what's going on.
Dana's favorite is, let's see if I can, LXIX.
Is that 69?
Nice.
God dang.
Josh is good. I couldn't have got that. I can't go that high.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm that good, but I do remember, get a certain amount. And like you said, the Super Bowls, they do that.
Medical device Jesus. Can you play Diablo on 10 bucks?
He did it the other way.
Some Bible-humping priest in the Czech Republic made himself out to be a douche here a few days ago. He curb-stomped the piss out of some jack-o'-lanterns on the side of the road because he says they are satanic. And he did this more than once.
So messed up.
Here's the deal. Some little damn kids in this neighborhood carved out a big pile of jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween. They worked their little bags off. They made some cool-looking pumpkins. They did. And then the kids lined them up in the yard summers along the road there in town. Well, here comes Father Numbnuts, and he sees them all lined up, and he kicks them to pieces because he's a douche.
This is up on 93x.com, the pictures of before and after.
That's what, they've had to change. It used to be like a Halloween parade or something like that in schools. Now it's a fall harvest festival for some of those same reasons.
Because people are pouncing on it and calling the whole gimmick satanic?
Yeah, for those that don't, observe it one way or the other, or those that find it offensive.
The kids were, devastated by this, crying up and down. I'm guessing they had no idea at first who gangbanged their pumpkins, so they went right back to work and carved up some more. They lined them up again, but it happened again the next night. They got boot-heeled to hell. Facebook brought this up in the neighborhood. Facebook showed pictures of what happened and who kicked the hell out of my kids? The neighborhood was pissed off. Father Numbnuts admitted he was the guy. He sort of apologized. All he said was he wouldn't have destroyed the pumpkins if he'd known they'd been carefully crafted by children. That's as far as he went with it. He's a real tough guy, isn't he, Father Numbnuts?
Yeah, screw him. Pumpkins take so long to carve, too.
I'm going to find out next week because I'm in a pumpkin carving contest. I'm hopeless at it. Hell yeah, it takes some time.
It's exhausting. I did it 2 days ago, and I forgot how hard. It took me like 2.5 hours.
And you're very creative and artistic.
I did do one of those, for the first time ever, where you just carve like the outside, so you can't. It's not all the way
So you
through.
don't go all the way through, yeah.
You can see the light. It went pretty well.
A lot of those are the more intricate ones I've noticed.
It was really hard. I don't recommend that.
Did you create a blumpkin on a pumpkin?
No, I did not. No.
Because we've seen that. It's impressive. It's impressive. So going back to our first story, if you're just tuning in, a young lady was at a combined bachelorette party. She finds herself on the business end of a glory hole.
Oh!
After she performs on the gentleman who is waiting there, she realizes it was her dad. Probably fake, but fun, right? Dimple Jesus wants to know, what's the worst feeling, knowing your dad went to a glory hole or knowing your daughter went to a glory hole? Well, for me, obviously, it would be the daughter. That'd be terrible. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to know my dad ever went to one of those either. I could get over that easier, I think.
I think you're right there.
What if it was the bride?
Well, yeah, I wish they were a little more clear on that.
Oh, scandalous.
That's right, there was no scandal up until then.
That really does add a whole new twist to it.
Oh, yeah, the engagement, and I broke it off. How come? Oh, she cheated on me.
Oh, she blew her dad.
With her father.
For God's sake. I don't know. I would imagine all of our dads probably have been to a glory hole. So
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, don't
I
think
think
so.
they have.
Nope.
I'm almost 100% sure they have. So we can end this argument.
Nick's been to glory holes with all her dads before.
Physics teacher Jesus checked in on the idea of those Halloween parades. And he's saying, just passing time at high school in between classes, it's like a Halloween costume parade every day. I'd imagine so, some of the outfits you see.
I loved doing those little parades. That was like my favorite time of the year, for sure. I liked to like rub in my cool costume in everybody else's face.
I'd feel bad for the kids whose parents wouldn't let them get involved.
The Halloween,
I never remember that.
the grade school Halloween parade is what we're talking.
Yeah, we would only do it in my school growing up. It would be kindergartners and first grade would do the parade.
I don't remember this. I was busy taking that Roman numerals class.
Not paying attention.
What would a former coworker of ours say? Why he wouldn't have been involved in that?
Oh, because he was banging our girlfriend.
That's right.
That's right.
Remember that car that when you drove by your girlfriend's house? You saw that car in the driveway there? That was me banging your girlfriend. He said that legitimately.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great guy.
He had a tendency to be a douchebag.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to behave anymore. Over there in Washington, D.C., a lady's Ring doorbell camera thingy recorded young kids stealing Halloween decorations from her front porch. But the part of the video that led this lady to coming uncorked was when she saw that there were effing adults also in the video telling the kids what to steal.
Isn't that why you have kids? So that they can do that kind of stuff for you?
Commit crimes?
Yeah.
What goes that way with carjackings, it appears.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I guess it covers good and evil. My dad always said the only reason why he had kids was to get things done. He didn't say whether they had to be legal or illegal. The footage shows 3 little peckerhead kids walking up to the lady's house a few nights ago. The kids are just looking into the house through the windows. Then a grown person shows up in the video who appears to be coaching them. A second adult can be seen standing guard as well. 2 of the kids each snatched a basket of something off the porch, and then they upped and ran away, with the grown folks running right along with them. The homeowner, who goes with the name Shelley, she said she was more concerned about the behavior of everyone in the video than her missing Halloween decorations. She believes the 2 adults were the kids' parents. Shelley talked to the local news, and she had plenty to say. She said, I mean, what kind of parent? I feel like if they would do something like this and involve their children, they would do just about anything. As a matter of fact, I heard in Amsterdam, there was a father... No, she didn't get into it. But she said she hopes the adults caught on her Ring camera get the help that they need, and the children, too. As angry as I was, I want the best for them. I want them to learn that this is wrong and not to do it again and grow to become wonderful, well-adjusted adults, she said. But if they don't, Well, then you better watch your back, she said, because I've been drinking. No, she didn't say that part. She wants them all to become well-adjusted. All that nicey nice stuff.
Yeah, she's a forgiving person. You feel bad for those kids. They're going to have a rough start.
Yep.
That's the parents they got.
We tried to get my dad involved in shenanigans when we were young, because he dug hanging out with me and my buddies and, slamming Steve Weisers and raising hell. But we tried to talk him into the dark side many times. We're going to go out and do this. We're going to go do that. Come with us. And he'd always say no. There was only one time he was in on it, and it was a lot of fun. Maybe you had to be there. My buddy Rick years ago, my buddy Rick lived right across the street from me. And my dad had a little rivalry with Rick. They were always picking on each other.
Like a fun one?
Oh, yeah. A lot of ball busting up and down ever since we were kids. So one night, Rick was in a groove where he was going to bed early and living a clean lifestyle. That has ended beautifully. But at the time, Rick was the guy that would always go to bed early and, okay, guys, I'm out. And my dad liked to bust his ball. Well, one of the pranks that Rick would play on my dad was Rick got a hold of the same remote for the garage door that my dad... So my dad would be sitting in his easy chair watching television, and suddenly his garage door would go up because Rick would drive by and hit the button. So my dad was constantly having, well, who the hell's opening up my dad? It was Rick. So those were the kind of pranks. One night, it had to have been 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We had a big brick of firecrackers, and we were going to go over, put it on Rick's front step, knowing the bastard is sound asleep, and light that sumbitch, and just, how a brick of firecrackers comes off in the middle of the night. I mean, it'll rock you right out of your friggin' skin. So we said, yeah, we're going to go, My dad's like, no, I'm not going. Well, we're going to do it to Rick. He said, I'm in. So here's my old man. Now, at the time, he was probably 70-some years old, coming with us on this little scandal. And he was the one who lit the fuse. That was really fun to watch. Watching him put the brick of firecrackers on Rick's front step, light it with his cigarette, of course.
Of course.
And then try to run away. That was the most fun. To watch a 72-year-old man try to run away from a lit brick of firecrackers it almost blew his ass cheeks off. That's how slow he is. And he goes diving into the pickup, and we cruise out. We burn rubber out of there. That was fun. The next morning, Rick didn't want to give him the pleasure. No, I didn't hear anything. Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah.
No way you didn't hear that.
I had a buddy like that where we had a kind of prank wars, a neighbor, and he would never give me any satisfaction. So he would win in that, just not giving me the satisfaction.
That's where it's at right there.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did I hear right? You smashed your finger on a cheese trap today?
Yeah, we passed out about 112 of them, loaded them all up. No, we unloaded all of them, but one of my smart aleck seniors loaded his back up and put it up on the podium where I speak to the kids, and I put my hand there, and it's it looks like my pinky got smashed by a hammer, but it would have killed a lesser man.
College football coach there, I don't have his name.
Jeff Traylor.
Jeff Traylor. That
University of Texas at San Antonio.
Had his finger smashed by a rat trap.
Oh, I bet that hurt.
Yeah. And this was some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll get there. Some kind of motivational gimmick he was trying out with his players?
Yeah, the gist was don't eat the cheese. Like, don't get baited by the media or everybody talking about us.
And those kind of coaches are so annoying.
It is kind of, I was going to say cheesy, and I didn't even mean
for that.
When
it's that forced, yeah, it
the
does.
coaches with the props and the little motivational moments, that's so dumb. So he has these rat traps sitting around to teach the kids don't get baited into bad things, I guess. And he smashed his own finger into dust in the damn thing. That's great.
Orkin put out another list. They have an annual list of the most rattiest cities. Chicago, number 1 for the 9th year in a row.
Is that right?
I would guess New York.
New York's number 3. Los Angeles is number 2.
Would have never guessed that.
We're not in the top 10. I'm sorry to say.
Nah, no, always next year.
Just rats chewing on babies' earlobes and whatnot. That's what I hear. I hear in the middle of the night they creep into baby carriages and eat the faces off of children.
We've heard things.
Have you heard those stories?
I've heard them.
They'll eat a kid's face off. A rat will do that to you. All right, what a track meet, a late-night track meet for the Pigs. What's this 10, 11 goals scored in a game nonsense that they're doing? This is not normal for them. I think they scored 5 goals in the third period. Granted, one was an empty net goal. Nice job, Foligno. And then he wants to make an appearance on our radio show.
Well, to apologize.
I hope he has an apology. At 8:30 this morning, we'll be getting Marcus Foligno in the mix. But they beat Ed Mental last night 7-4. Huge victory for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I've got plenty to say about this when we get Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder going a little bit later, but that's great. They beat the Phillies in Game 7, back-to-back wins on the road. I love this stuff so much. This is why I spend all night, every night watching ball games, just for stuff like what happened last night in Philadelphia. The biggest effing story of the day by far, though, tonight is Game 1 of 80 whatever. What do they play these days?
82.
The season opener from my beloved Timber. Wow. Here we go. It's going to be a great year, Cubby.
What are you looking forward to the most?
I like this. I like it when they dunk the basketball.
Yes. Like when they dunk it.
Yes. I like it when they dunk the basketball, and I like a three-point bucket now and again.
I'm a layup guy. I love the excitement of a layup.
Oh.
Josh loves a good mid-range jumper.
Heck yeah.
Tonight, the fellas begin again in effing Ontario. They're at the Toronto Raptors, 6:30 on BSN with Michael Grady and Jim Peterson on the call. The world is right again, in my mind, when the Timberwolves are playing real games. So there you go. Shaver, Ryder, in a half hour. Josh coming up next.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Every Monday, Rich Eisen and Chris Brockman react to what's happening in the world of football on Overreaction Monday.
The AFC North. Not all 4 teams going to make the playoffs.
More likely than not.
More likely than not, right?
Okay.
And I know they've been the king of this jungle for the last few seasons. The Cincinnati Bengals, Rich, are going to miss the playoffs this year.
This is an overreaction. Bengals are not only making the playoffs, they're winning this division. Oh, again, for a third straight year.
Overreaction Monday, the podcast, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Disturbing is really the only words to describe it. You know, I can imagine the pain that this family is going through.
It's like I'm halfway afraid to come home at night because of this.
A driver fatally struck a 28-year-old Maryland man early Saturday morning, and then was caught on camera pulling the victim's body off his car's windshield 2 miles away from the crash scene.
Ooh.
Police found Franklin Mendez on the side of the road with injuries just after 4 a.m. After checking doorbell cameras, neighbors discovered the driver who hit Mendez had got out of his car and peeled the slain man's body from his windshield. Police told the outlet that Mendez was involved in an unrelated minor collision 2 miles away before he was struck by the suspect. Following the first accident, he was struck by another car, police said. What we know happened is that there was a minor collision. Mendez exited his vehicle to assess the damage, and then he was struck by a separate vehicle, a police officer said. Instead of stopping, the suspect continued driving with Mendez lodged in his windshield.
Oh, jeez. Dude, that's dark.
The hit-and-run driver proceeded to drive for 2 miles with Mendez on the front of his car before pulling over to remove him. The suspect then got back into his car and sped off, fleeing the scene and leaving Mendez's body on the side of the road. Police are urging the public to come forward with any information about the suspect.
Heartless, Cubby.
Yeah, they're talking about no empathy.
Not at all.
Heartless.
Sick. A Palm Bay woman was accused of driving drunk and running over her husband while they were searching for their lost dog.
Oh, Jesus.
Police responded Friday night after a 911 caller reported seeing a man lying in the road in their neighborhood. According to the arrest report, 7-year-old Sally Gore and her husband arrived home to find their dog missing. Gore drove off to search for the dog while her husband left on foot. After circling the block, Gore told police she returned home to find her husband lying in the street. She said she wasn't aware he was struck by a car. And she was apparently so drunk she didn't realize he was hit by her car, which she was driving.
God dang.
Officers said they believe Gore put the car in reverse and hit her husband while backing up. According to the arrest report, an officer reported smelling alcohol on her and tested her breath. The reading came back at .12.
I'm guessing he's not the biggest guy in town.
No, can't be. I mean, you drunk or not, you should be able to feel that.
I would think so, right? A Tampa man was arrested on Sunday after allegedly attempting to pull vehicles over with his pickup truck outfitted with fake police lights and while wearing a Rob Gronkowski Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey, which, by the way, police say is not an official uniform.
It's just because they have a little bit something wrong with them. They want to exude the power of a law enforcement officer. There's plenty of openings at law enforcement agencies around. If you want to do that, you could do it legitimately.
On Sunday morning, a trooper learned of a red GMC that was attempting to pull over other vehicles while flashing red and blue lights.
When you go as far as turning on the lights to pull somebody over, you are now trying to act as a law enforcement officer. So you've taken it a step farther than just possessing the lights.
At about 11 a.m., the trooper spotted and stopped a red pickup truck operated by 62-year-old Earl Cesario. They learned his identity by asking the man in the Gronk jersey if he had any IDs.
These nuts!
During the investigation, troopers spoke to a male witness who said he nearly pulled over for Cesario because he believed the red truck may have been an undercover law enforcement vehicle. He said the driver of the truck motioned for him to pull over, but before he could, Cesario sped off. He was arrested and charged with false impersonation of officials.
That's the ultimate toolbox. Not only are you a Gronk fan, but you also like to play pretend cop.
Yeah. The Gronk thing is almost too much on the nose.
It's perfect, isn't it?
is.
It's hilarious. A Brevard County man was arrested last week after he's accused of brandishing a firearm over being ding-dong ditched. Deputies responded to a report about a disturbance at a home last Wednesday morning. Upon arrival, investigators said they learned several kids had ding-dong ditched 60-year-old Eric Rogers' home and then ran away, though he was able to find two of them across the street. Rogers confronted them, brandished the base of his firearm from his pocket, yelled and threatened that, quote, people get shot when they mess around. He admitted to kicking one of the kids in the butt, told the child to spread the word amongst others. According to detectives, a witness reported that she had tried to intervene, but Rogers said something to the effect of, "Want to watch me shoot a kid?" As a result, he was taken into custody.
You got to be careful.
He was having a day.
Yeah, you can't do that kind of stuff anymore.
I've said it before. There's too many folks out there who are just looking for a reason.
When I was a kid, the scariest thing that I thought was going to happen if someone caught me was that they were going to bring me back home and tell my parents.
Yeah, that's all we worried about, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard-ons out there who are just waiting for a reason.
A 23-year-old flight school student is accused of sabotaging 10 aircraft after he was denied a solo flight. School officials called the sheriff's office when they said they saw the student on video going from plane to plane, causing damage to each of the aircraft. Police say the adult temper tantrum occurred when the student became angry after school instructors would not allow him to fly solo.
When he got the news that he wasn't ready, he went out into the airplane area and actually vandalized 10 planes. They have him on video going from plane to plane to plane.
The sheriff's office said 10 aircraft at the school remained grounded while mechanics determined the extent of the damage. The student was arrested and charged with felony criminal mischief.
I'm going to take a guess. This is a kid who comes from a really wealthy family. Or a Gronk fan. One or the other.
Well, he wasn't wearing a Gronk jersey, at least. But yeah, maybe the prior.
Where repercussions just don't matter because mommy and daddy can cover it.
In related news, it was revealed yesterday the out-of-control airline pilot who tried to down an Alaskan Airlines flight midair told cops he had taken magic mushrooms for the first time.
Jesus.
44-year-old Joseph Emerson, an off-duty commercial airline pilot, went off the rails when sitting in the cockpit jump seat of a flight between Everett, Washington and San Francisco Sunday, trying to cut the fuel to the engines before he had to be held down by crew members. Even while restrained, he tried to open the emergency doors on the Alaska Airlines flight as the pilots frantically guided the aircraft to the ground. When later interviewed by police, he said he hadn't slept for 40 hours and stated he had taken psychedelic mushrooms for the first time.
Balls. This guy needs to take a break. But by the way, you turned 44 before you tried mushrooms? What, did you skip high school or something?
I've never tried them.
No, me neither.
A man who filed a missing child report was arrested after Connecticut troopers determined there was no kidnapping. The man was just drunk and forgot that he left the kid at home. Police responded to a Price Chopper store around 8:15 p.m. Monday for the missing child report.
You ever swing by Price Choppers, Josh?
This is the first time I'd ever heard of it.
Sounds badass.
30-year-old Colby Parker was told responding officers he went to the store and left the child in his vehicle. He claimed when he returned to his vehicle, the child wasn't there. That led to a search by Price Chopper employees, troopers, and members of the University of Connecticut and Coventry police departments. An alert was also sent out to residents in the area. Over the course of the investigation, personnel at Price Chopper reviewed the store's surveillance footage. They determined Parker made 2 separate trips to the store Monday night. Based on those recordings, the child was with Parker for the first trip, but not the second. Troopers said they arrived at the child's home just before 9:15 p.m., where the child was found unharmed. Once the child was found, troopers said they determined Parker showed signs of impairment. They asked him to submit a standard field sobriety test, which he failed. They later determined Parker was unaware that the kid had not been with him when he went to the store for the second trip.
I swear he was here.
The Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream, New York was locked down Monday morning after a gun went off inside a store while the man was pantsless. Nassau police said they responded to a report of possible shots fired in the mall just before 11 a.m.
I just seen a lot of cops in there. They was just like getting everybody evacuated. I mean, it looked crazy.
I saw all the cops and I heard the helicopters. It's a little frightening.
Authorities say a suspect tried to steal clothing from a store near the food court when he got into a struggle with security.
He was putting on layers of clothing. He was confronted by the security personnel. When he was confronted, he started to struggle with him and then said, "I got a gun." He pulled his gun out. When they were struggling with the gun, a round went off.
After the suspect's gun went off during the struggle, he fled the mall.
Got in a red SUV. When he fled, he had one sneaker on, and he no longer had pants on. He was wearing his boxers.
Authorities say he wasn't wearing pants as he got away because he was in the middle of putting on the clothes that he was attempting to steal.
Pants came off, huh?
He did. Once again, police had to be called to a youth athletic event on a report of parents fighting an umpire, this time in Indiana. But this time, the umpire had it coming. Authorities said the parents told them the brawl started because their children came running out of the bathroom screaming that Little League umpire Stephen Custer, now an 18-year-old, had taken photos of them.
Oh, gosh.
At least one of the dads admitted to punching Custer, who was a juvenile at the time. After the incident, deputies seized his electronic devices where they found several inappropriate images and videos. According to deputies, the files were from several bathroom urinals and stalls.
Gross.
So this guy had it coming, of all of them. A 54-year-old man's admitted to hiding in crawl spaces beneath a home so he could surreptitiously film girls showering. According to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, Joseph Holbert hid in the crawl space underneath a family member's home and used a hidden camera to film 2 girls undressing and bathing in an outdoor shower after swimming in the family's pool. They reported what they'd seen to an adult who confronted Holbert and demanded to see his phone. He declined and immediately left. In an interview with deputies, the 2 victims said they were showering when they spotted a black wire protruding out of the wall. Both girls told investigators after they pulled the wire through the shower, they were able to see Holbert holding a cell phone as he crawled away in the space beneath the house.
Oh, heck no.
Authorities located him the following day and executed a search warrant on the home where he was filming the 2 minors. In the child's bedroom, authorities also found a hidden camera which had been placed inside a wall outlet. He will spend more than 2 decades behind bars.
Ooh.
A Northern Colorado welding business is trying to pay a subcontractor $23,500 in debt. And apparently they're doing this in quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies that weighed more than 3 tons. And the plaintiffs in the case call the move malicious and a major FU. Danielle Beam, an attorney who represents the plaintiffs in the case, Fired Up Fabrication LLC, called the 6,500-pound coin delivery a symbolic middle finger.
I think they thought that my clients would absolutely have to accept it and they would have to deal with it and it would be a giant waste of time and kind of a major FU.
According to court documents in the case, JMF Enterprises hired Fired Up Fabrication as a subcontractor to do welding work on an apartment building. Fired Up later filed a civil lawsuit against JMF, saying it was not paid in full. In July, the 2 sides went to mediation, and JMF agreed to pay the subcontractor $23,500 to settle the financial dispute. That settlement agreement didn't specify on how the settlement amount should be paid, however. But 6 weeks ago, Beam said she got a call from the driver of a flatbed truck who said he was parked near her office and was delivering the settlement. Turned out the driver was attempting to deliver a 2x3x4 box filled with coins and weighing more than 6,500 pounds, which required a forklift to move.
And it's funny as long as it's not happening to you. If you're the one stuck with dealing with 6,000 pounds worth of coins, it's probably funny if you're not in the middle of it.
The stunt may backfire on JMF as the judge in the case hinted at ordering them to deliver a standard form of payment like a check, and they may order the company to pay an additional $7,000 in attorney's fees.
That's dramatic stuff. Needed a forklift and everything to get it in there? You guys ever considered doing that gimmick, paying in loose change when you got a speeding ticket or something like that?
No, that's too much work.
Yeah. I came very close to doing it once.
And for the most part, the people that have to deal with that aren't the reason that like you're upset or have to pay that ticket. You know, I don't want to make some poor lady that's just working an 8 to 5 have to deal with that.
I didn't care. I was a young guy. I was pissed off about a speeding ticket or a parking ticket or something that I received. I can't remember what it was, but it was $100 or something like that, and it pissed me off. I didn't think it was right, whatever it was that happened to me. So I got out my change jar, and this is when I was living with my dad, and there I was piling up the change. I was going to pay in change. That was how I was going to get back at him. My dad walked in and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "Well, the police department effed me, gave me a ticket for no reason, so I'm going to pay him $100 in coins." And he said, "Go ahead if you want to get picked on here in town until the day that you die."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He said he don't know exactly what goes on, but he said, "I would imagine they're going to remember you, and it's not going to be for good reasons." And it changed my mind. I said, "All right, F it," and I just paid him with a check.
Good point.
But I was running hot, Cubby.
Yeah, you'd think, though, after you counted all that out in pennies, you'd calm down. That'd be a heck of a lot of pennies.
Yeah, maybe by the end I would have changed my mind because I was just getting started in my countdown.
What'd you put in the memo line?
I didn't get, when I wrote the check?
Yeah.
I didn't do that bit back then. But Wapple knows this. Sometimes when I write checks to people, I like to put something shady in the memo line, like hand job or something like that.
Yeah, the last check he gave me was for my OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
Richard Roundtree, known for his signature role in the Shaft movie franchise, passed away Monday after a brief battle with pancreatic cancer at the age of 81. Roundtree played John Shaft in the 1971 action thriller and its sequels, Shaft's Big Score and Shaft in Africa, as well as the short-lived 1973 Shaft TV series. For his performance in the original film, Roundtree was nominated for a New Star of the Year Golden Globe and hailed as the first black action hero. Decades later, Shaft got a remake in 2000, and Richard reprised his role as John Shaft alongside Samuel L. Jackson, who played Shaft's nephew. Roundtree also plays the character in the 2019 version. Again, he passed away Monday at the age of 81.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's a cool character right there.
I have to say, though, I never got involved in the Shaft series. I think I've seen little bits and pieces, but I never made my way all the way through a Shaft movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of them either. I mean, they've been on TV, and I've watched some of it, watched a couple episodes of the show. I didn't watch the remake as much as I like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, same here.
It's been parodied hundreds of times, right?
Yeah. Roundtree. He seemed like a very likable guy.
Yeah, he did. Just kind of exuded cool. Craig Robinson, Daryl on The Office, 52 today.
Very funny guy.
Very funny dude.
Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer who looks a lot like Will Ferrell, Chad Smith, 62. Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson, 66. Judas Priest guitarist Glenn Tipton is 76 today. Sadly.
I'm glad to hear that he's still alive.
Me too. I was just going to say, unfortunately, he's in the middle of a Parkinson's battle.
Yeah. Man, Glenn Tipton, just one of the coolest looking rock stars of all time. He's just badass up there.
And that guy can write a riff, man.
Oh, my God, yes.
Minnesotan Marion Ross, Mrs. C, Marion Cunningham on Happy Days, 95 today.
Me running.
Wasted Years Jesus, sending a shout out to the Nowhere Haunted House crew. He said, Hell Week starts tonight, and hell yeah, he says. Burning Angel Jesus, visiting from Alaska, and says, word up to the brother and sisterhood.
Word.
Happy 26th wedding anniversary to Cindy and Brad Ryder, job reference Jesus. And happy birthday to Beer Trucking Jesus. That's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
He beat us, he hammered us with his arm, he ran when he needed to, and we did not handle it well.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Seawall to strike away. Here he comes. Cave, a fly ball to right field. Over is Carroll. He's got it. And the Arizona Diamondbacks
Diamondbacks are headed to the World Series. The Diamondbacks have won the National League pennant, and the Fall Classic will return to the desert.
Corbin, you caught the final out to end this NLCS. What was going through your mind when you squeezed it?
We did it. We did it.
You guys were down 2-0. You came here facing elimination against a team that just doesn't lose on this field. How did you get to this celebration?
Just believing in each other. We know what we have in that clubhouse, and it's special, so it's unbelievable.
The Warren C. Giles Trophy is yours.
Woo! Well, sure. How about a fresh visit from the Ass Man, Randy Shaver? Hello, Randy.
Good morning.
And the loneliest of the lonely, Brad Wright.
Good morning.
Get some, fellas.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get some. I don't care how many times it happens. It's still loads of fun when a big-time favorite gets crushed by an underdog.
Yeah.
The friggin' Arizona Diamondbacks, who most folks consider just a bunch of plugs who had no chance, especially after losing the first 2 games of this series.
Right.
Came back to win 2 straight on the road to rob the Phillies of the National League pennant. They won Game 7 of the National League Championship Series last night by a final score of 4-2. It was just beautiful.
No one's ever mad about seeing Philadelphia fans sad and upset.
No, they put on a good show. Like we said a few days ago, when you watch a live ball game from that Phillies ballpark, they put on a good show. That's a rocking crowd. They never shut the hell. It's fun, but it's fun to watch them go home pissy. It's more fun to even just watch them go home losers. Well, this year's playoffs have been so much fun.
They have been.
I don't have the numbers, but the road teams have to have a winning record.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, Brad
Okay.
Ryder. I don't
That-
know for sure, but I wouldn't argue with you on that.
That and the unpredictability of these series is what's made it so much fun. There really isn't a home field advantage, at least not so far.
There's no
either
way
league.
that anybody had Texas and Arizona going to the World Series, having
Hell
both
no.
of those teams. No.
Very few people.
I mean, what's been fun for me personally, and I think most of you would agree with me, first off, the Twins were there for a while.
Well,
no Yankees, no Red Sox, no White Sox,
no Dodgers.
The Dodgers got pumped. I'm sure we had to put up with Houston for a little while. But both clubs involved in the World Series were left for dead.
Yeah.
And came right back to shove it down the throats of all the experts.
I think both of these teams in the World Series too, I saw last night, were 100-loss teams 2 years ago.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, I know he's back.
What? I don't hear anything.
What are you talking about?
Unbelievable.
Oh, he's right. He came right into the room with
you. No, it's unreal.
Is he in your office with you?
He's right below mine.
He's my favorite character on the show.
It's like he knows I'm on here. He has to know.
Brad.
He has to know that I get on at 7:35 because that's when he starts up.
You're sounding more and more defeated and upset by this. It's fun.
Yeah. Like I said, he's my favorite character on the show. I love the leaf blower guy.
Leaf blower guy.
Favorite character on the show.
I'm looking forward to the first snow only for this reason.
No more leaves out there. There can't be any leaves out
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Just wait until they're all off the trees. They're not even off the trees yet.
Fingers crossed, the leaf blower guy is also the snow blower guy.
Oh.
I don't want him to go away.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show featuring the leaf blower guy.
That usually is the case, Josh. I bet that he will be the snowblower guy.
Yeah, but usually by the time, even if I usually get to campus on the days I teach around 6:15, 6:20. Yeah, in the wintertime, all the roads and sidewalks are already clear. They do a phenomenal job here.
Maybe he'll have one of the beep 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 kind of things. You know, when he backs up. Brad Ryder, like Josh said, the leaf blower guy has become one of the more beloved characters on this program. We are in the process of creating some State Fair T-shirts.
All right. Won't he be surprised next year when I run a T-shirt out to him?
It's all right. I dig this quote from the Diamondbacks general manager after the game. He's a fella named Mike Hazen. He said after the game, "We got a really young team here. I don't think they know what they're doing." And it reminds me,
that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what he means by that. And it reminds me, years ago there was a college hockey club. I don't remember who it was. They made a late season push to make the NCAA tournament, and then they made a deep run in the tournament. And they just kept upsetting much better teams to keep going. And one of their players said to the media along the way, "We're too dumb to realize that we're not this good."
Yeah.
I'll always remember that quote. I mean, Arizona won 84 regular season games. So that's the third fewest for a World Series team in big league history. And Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder could probably tell you how many wins the Twins had in '87 when they went to the World Series.
Wasn't it 85 or 86?
It was 85, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm sure they don't know what they're doing, nor do they care. Nor do they care. They're having the time of their friggin' lives.
And I would say that they are a team that is void of any. I mean, Corbin Carroll, I would say, is probably their lone superstar, and he's a kid that probably nobody's really heard of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just a rookie, and he's had a phenomenal year, but they've got a mixture of young guys and some veterans like Longoria and Pham that, you know, they just, for whatever reason, this team has come together to be very good. And they pitched a kid last night, the rookie Paft, you know, starts maybe the most important game in recent history for the Diamondbacks. I mean, that's the kind of team they are.
Sounds like maybe your leaf blower got a hold of a bee's nest there. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Brad?
Yeah.
That's so funny. This is such a well-written article I found it on Fox Sports. For whatever reason, ESPN and Sports Illustrated this morning had other than the score, they really didn't have anything on the Diamondbacks. I don't know if there was a internet problem, but anyway, I found this terrific story on Fox Sports. It had some great elements to what happened with the Diamondbacks last night. And, you know, okay, so the general manager said we have such a young team, but Randy Shaver just mentioned Evan Longoria. He's no kid. He's 38 years old.
Right.
And this really funny little portion of the story talks about someone in the clubhouse during the clubhouse beer party. They described how awkward Longoria looked amongst all these young kids. And they said Longoria, quote, danced shirtless and aimlessly to reggaeton music with a beer in each hand.
It's adorable.
Can you picture that? I'm sure he has no effing idea there was ever such a thing as reggaeton or whatever I just said, music.
It's like somebody's uncle coming to the beer party.
Yeah. I love that. But Longoria had a great quote after the game. He said, "This group, top to bottom, everybody believed. I went to bed last night believing we could do it. People will say that I'm lying, but I had a feeling in my gut all along, and now we're here." Yeah. Great story. As you can tell, I love this story. Second World Series appearance for the Diamondbacks. Last time was 22 years ago. They beat the Yankees.
Randy Johnson, right?
Randy Johnson, I believe, was in the mix. Was Schilling on that team as well?
Might have been, yeah.
And they had a slew of veterans on those teams. This is a different story. They'll be underdogs again against the Rangers.
Yeah.
And they finally... What's that, Randy?
I was going to say the Rangers' bats have been the real story of the playoffs to this point. I mean, the Diamondbacks certainly great story, but the way that Texas offensively dismantled their opponents along the way has been pretty impressive.
Man, did you see the kid, the setup reliever for the Diamondbacks last night? Ginkel is the last name?
Ginkel, yeah.
It's hilarious, I know, but
yeah,
I don't remember his first name. Was he perfect or what? Yeah. He was just perfect.
Yeah.
The Phillies batters, they had no idea. Kevin Ginkel. Phillies batters had no idea what was coming. I almost thought they should have left him in the game for the ninth.
Yeah.
Just because he was, but then they brought in, what's his nuts?
Seward.
They finally got it right. World Series Game 1 is on a Friday night. I think it's been a long time since that happened.
Yeah, it's usually been Saturday, Sunday, the first two games, but I think they're doing what everybody else is doing. They're trying to avoid Sunday night football.
Oh, see, I remember it lately being Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
I think it's been, well, okay.
Hey, it doesn't
Saturday,
matter.
Sunday.
I'm excited for Game 1.
Well, I can tell you one entity that's not happy about a Texas-Arizona World Series is Fox.
Why is that?
They are going to get low. I mean, we'll watch it. I'm going to watch it, but nationally, They are not going to get very good ratings.
I'm so tired of hearing about that. Who cares?
They won't.
I'm sure you're right because it plays out every year that way, whether it be the Stanley Cup or no matter what it is. Whenever it's a supposedly small market group of teams, they don't get the ratings. I don't care. Listen to the show. You can tell we don't care about ratings. We just want to have some fun.
I would argue that Texas isn't a small market. I
No.
think Dallas is a big market
Well,
team.
whatever the case may be, you know what I mean.
Yeah, so is Phoenix, but you don't have a team on either coast.
A lesser popular team, not
But
East
you know
or
what,
West.
though? But you know what, though? If the series turns out to be a fun series to watch, I think you'll get an audience for it.
I hate reading those articles. Well, you know, the ratings aren't quite what they were. Who cares? It's about the friggin' game.
Digital Media Jesus wants to know if there'll be any watching parties with the leaf blower guy, kind of like Wapple does with the Wild. I'd love to watch a World Series game with the leaf blower guy.
But see, how could you hear the? Well, it would be
You'll have
perfect
to wear
because
the
you could
headsets.
you could watch the game, but you wouldn't be able to hear the commentators.
Here's the deal, Brad Ryder. How long does he stick around blowing leaves?
Well,
Until he's done now.
Well, yeah, he moved on. He might be back though. I'm looking out the window. He's down the street.
I hope he busts up sidewalks with a jackhammer at some point as part of his gig. That'd be good too.
Will you do us a favor?
Jackhammer guy.
Will you go talk to the guy? We want to get him on the air.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, not today. Not today.
No, not right now.
Yeah,
not right now.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're not on every day with us. We can't afford you. Tomorrow or whatever. Next time you have a chance when you're not on air with us.
Yep.
Talk to the guy. I mean, if he's a psychopath, forget it.
Well,
but
yeah.
if he seems like a nice enough guy, I think Josh, you think it'd be fun to talk to the leaf blower guy?
I'd love. I mean, part of me would be a little bummed out because the mystery would be gone, but I really do want to get to know him.
It might very well be a student because we got a lot of student workers here. So I mean, I'm warning you, it might be some 19-year-old kid who's got a hard time talking to his parents, let alone talking on a radio show.
Again, have you listened to the show?
There's no broadcast professionals here outside of Randy.
That would be so good if Randy sits out at dad fights and we have leaf blower guy versus Brad Ryder.
What? And then anytime Brad starts to talk, he just hits
me
the
off the
He could substitute for me if Randy's going to get butthurt about it.
Wow. I've just settled the rivalry.
Randy might have a chance then.
Josh is right. Every time Brad tries to make a noise, he fires up the blower. Someone just texted in, who has home field advantage in the World Series? The Texas Rangers do.
Yeah.
Now, according to something I read this morning, the Diamondbacks potentially have ended the career of an ESPN radio personality by the name of Chris Russo.
Yeah, Mad Dog.
I've been wrong in Arizona from day one. I'm stunned they beat Milwaukee. I thought they'd get swept by the Dodgers. I never thought they'd even go back to Philly for a Game 6. I'll try it one more time. I would not be stunned if they won tonight. I would be floored. And I'll say this right now, and Bob Raceman, write it down. If they win the next 2 games and win this series in 7 games, I will retire on the spot.
All right, so they won the next 2 games. You guys, you're familiar with this guy?
Yeah,
I've heard of him. Yeah.
If they win the next 2 days, he says he'll retire on the spot. He stood by it even after they won Game 6. I'm reading that he stood by his promise.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, I don't know where to find this guy or how you watch him or listen to him, but.
Well, you'll have to see if you can get his retirement speech on the show tomorrow. Wow.
That's how you do it right there.
Yes, sir.
37 years ago today, Game 6 of the World Series, Mookie Wilson and Bill Buckner.
So the winning run is at second base with 2 out, 3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. If one picture is worth 1,000 words, you have seen about 1,000,000 words. But more than that, you have seen an absolutely bizarre finish to Game 6 of the 1986 World Series.
Absolutely bonkers. I remember it like it was yesterday.
God, don't you just miss Vince Scully?
Yeah, how good is he?
I was thinking that same thing.
Oh, my God.
You know, how lucky were baseball fans for about 3 years here in the state of Minnesota? 86, the Mets and the Red Sox and the Mookie Wilson and the Bill Buckner. 87, the Twins win it all. 88, you get Kirk Gibson and the Dodgers beating the Oakland Athletics. I mean, that was an unbelievable 3 years in a row for World Series mayhem.
Yeah.
Bill Buckner is dead now, is he not?
He is.
So, yeah, the ball rolls through Buckner's legs. I mean, it was a disaster ending for the Red Sox. They had that friggin' game in the bag. They had it in the bag. They still had a Game 7 to play.
That's right.
And it didn't go their way. And trust me, this is not sympathy for the Boston Red Sox, but I still have great sympathy for Bill Buckner. You know,
they made up to him, though, right? I mean, they brought him back
after they won the World Series.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on this. You know, I've lost my cool on this subject before. Yeah. But even in this article about 37 years ago today, the play happened in the 86 World Series. It says, this play haunted Red Sox fans. Haunted the fans? Who cares? What about friggin' Bill Buckner?
Exactly.
What about what Red Sox fans did to Bill Buckner and his friggin' family? That's why I've always said I hate it when people say, well, you know, the Red Sox did invite him back, as if he did something wrong. Pisses me off every single time. They basically ran the man out of town. They threatened his family over that play. But you know what? But they made good. They let him back. F you. I always say, when they let Bill back, which they did, whatever, I don't know how many years ago it was, they had him after they won the World Series in 2004. They had him back at Fenway Park, and he had a mic in his hand, and they gave him a standing ovation. If I were Bill Buckner, I would have walked into the stands, and I would have punched the first elderly person I saw in the jaw and said, thanks for ruining my life.
If I were him, I would have gone the wrestling route and gone out there, you know, wearing the Red Sox jersey, kind of smiling the crowd, then just rip it off and have a Yankees jersey on underneath and give everybody the bird and storm out of there.
I would have waited, and if I were Bill Buckner, I would have been patient. You know what? Thanks for having me back. Well, I'm looking forward to getting the microphone and saying something to the crowd. And I would have said, everyone in this friggin' building and in this city can F off. Supposed to act like they did him a favor by having him back after an error in a baseball game. See, I blew up again on the subject, Cubby. I promised you before we went live that I wasn't going to do it.
You said, don't get me started.
I hate that crap.
Bill Buckner was so funny in his episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, if anybody ever watched that show.
Never saw it.
I thought it was Seinfeld. It was Curb?
Yeah, it was Curb.
Okay, yeah.
Where he catches the baby at the end, and Larry David's like, oh, no! He's got his shot at redemption.
That's right.
We'll talk the Pigs a little bit later for you hockey fans. In a little over a half hour, Marcus Foligno is going to join us. He's joining us every couple of Wednesdays, I think is how the setup is, and we'll talk about the Pigs. I mean, they beat Edmonton last night, but we'll save our jaw-jacking on that game for when we talk to Marcus. But, I mean, again, 10, 11 goals scored in a Pigs game.
Right. 5 in the third period.
This is not right.
Crazy third period.
Yeah, this is not right. I can tell you this much. Valley Fair will host Hockey Day in Minnesota next year.
I don't understand how this is going to work, because I was thinking of like the park layout, and I don't know where they're going to.
They freeze the lazy river, and
that would be sweet.
Well, yeah, they should have some. Are they going to have some rides running? Can they run a few rides?
I don't think so in the winter.
No.
Ah, for God's sake, wouldn't that be something?
That parking lot is massive.
It is huge.
Yeah, the parking lot's huge.
It'll just serve as a background.
Oh, okay.
They can't at least just get the what do you call that thing you're going around in a circle? The carousel going?
Oh, they might be able to do that. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be great if they put in like Roller Coaster Tycoon walking around music.
Roller Coaster Tycoon walking around. What does that mean?
Just like people walking around chattering, like, hey, how's it going?
They might have some of the food things open. I don't know.
I'll go for a funnel cake any day of the week.
Funnel cake.
Yeah.
I fell for this. I thought they meant this year. It's next year. This year they're doing it up in War Road, but next year they're going to have a damn hockey game there at Valley Fair. It's a fun deal, Hockey Day in Minnesota, but also kind of obnoxious at the same time. I'll say this. If you had a drink every time someone says tradition or deep history during those broadcasts, you'll be dead by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
You won't even make it
You wouldn't make it to noon.
I get so burned out by that. We get it, for God's sake. We like hockey around here. Like I was saying earlier, the big story today is Game 1 for the Timberwolves in Ontario tonight, taking on the Raptors, 6:30 on BSN. I'm looking so forward to hearing Michael Grady and Jim Peterson. Such a big part of my year is following the Wolves and listening to those fellas. Pretty pumped about tonight. You know, you got all your preseason predictions and your preseason rankings and this and that. SB Nation, they ranked every team by how likely they are to win the whole effing thing, by God. The bottom three, the Washington Wizards, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Charlotte Hornets. Then you got your Timberwolves coming in at number 15, right in the middle.
I would say Toronto's probably right in the middle, too.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, and they talk about Rudy and Carl, and they talk about Mike Conley and A1 from day one.
From day five.
We've covered that stuff already, even before, day one of the season here. We've talked about what might work and what might not work. The top three most likely teams, according to SB Nation, the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Denver Nuggets.
Well, the Nuggets showed that last night. Jokic had a triple-double to start the season. So.
Yeah.
Messed around and got a triple-double. What song? Today was a good day. Ice Cube. I'm looking forward to every damn thing. Mike Conley Jr., getting a little more time practicing with the fellas. I read article number 3,000 or 4,000 already in the last couple months about whether or not Carl will be traded to the New York Knickerbockers or any other ball club, so that stuff is still going. I'll tell you this much about how teams might do this year. Here's one guy who's sure the Lakers aren't going to do so well. One bettor dropped $50,000 on the Lakers missing the playoffs.
Wow.
It's a big future bet.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
What kind of odds did he get, do you know?
Plus 300, Brad Ryder. He'll win $150,000. You know what I'm saying to you, don't
It's a little hard. It's a little hard to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
You've got the play-in game.
That was my next question. I wonder if that includes getting in the play-in game or being number 10.
I don't know. Back to the Wolves real quick. I know that this is the kind of thing that pro athletes, hang on every word of the player rankings, player ratings for the video game. So you following what I'm saying there?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they do. Trust me.
The complete NBA 2K24 player ratings were released a handful of days ago. The top-rated player for the Timberwolves is A5 from day 5. He's rated a 91 overall. Oh, pardon me, I got that wrong. The team is a 91 overall. Edwards is the top-rated player at an 88. Then you go Carl with an 85, and Rudy with an 84, and Jaden McDaniels 81, Mike Conley 7. Naz Reid 79. Have you not watched Naz Reid play basketball? He is not a 79. But anyway, so they did that bit. Some credit's been given in a couple articles to Nickeil Alexander-Walker of the Timberwolves, kind of referring to him as a hidden gem. Look out for this guy. When he gets his opportunity, he's going to go mental. And I do like watching that kid play. I like the different elements of his game. And there's other things in here, like some rule changes. There's going to be technical fouls now for flopping. And don't ask me to explain everything about it. Just watch the games, and I'm sure we'll get used to it, to what indicates this and that. But flopping is a pain in the ass.
So every flopping call is a technical foul?
Here's what I have, Randy. Didn't I ask him not to ask me what
I'm just trying to get clarity about it.
Here's what I have in front of you. Okay.
Let's don't gloss over it.
You want to get into it?
We'll see if they actually call this.
No, Randy Shaver, I'm fine with that. I'm just busting your chops. Any player deemed to have flopped will be given a non-unsportsmanlike technical foul. That means said player cannot be ejected because of accumulation of flopping violations like they can for other technical fouls.
So I would assume if they're called for this, that they're not actually called for a foul because they're faking, which means they're flopping, so they're not going to get called for a personal foul. And this, in most cases, they're probably just going to get called for the technical.
It says here, Brad Ryder, officials can call fouls and flops on the same play.
They can, but I don't know how often they're going to do that.
We'll see. I get pretty tired of the flopping. I do. So we'll see what comes of that. It'll take some time to figure it out. Did you see what the Dallas Mavericks were doing at practice to prepare for Victor Wembanyama?
This is so funny.
A couple teams do this now, yeah.
The Mavericks play the Spurs tonight. So Dallas is the first team to take on this Wembanyama in a real game. There was some video of Dallas Mavericks practice going around. Assistant coach God Shamgod, who I remember when he played college hoops.
Yeah.
That dude could do things with the basketball where you thought, where did it go? Oh, he's dribbling it still. It was just, the dude was unbelievable. God Shamgod attached long pads to his arms to mimic Wembanyama's wingspan.
A lot of teams do that at practice.
Yeah, like I've seen it once or twice, but I've never seen such long arm pads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the dude is 7'5", and he's got a 88-foot reach or whatever it is.
So they play on ESPN tonight at 8:30. They're the late game tonight on ESPN. So
okay,
if you get a chance to watch, you'd be curious to see. First game. Obviously it's just first impressions, but it'll be fun to see what this guy can do because there's been so much hype. I mean, he's probably the most hyped player since LeBron.
Oh, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of expectations here. The team around him is not very good. I mean, San Antonio is going to be very average at best, but we'll see what he can do. And Dallas is not very good either. Doncic is I think questionable to even play tonight. So
well, they had a great start to last season, then they picked up Kyrie Irving, and it became a nightmare.
Well, they just don't have anybody in the middle. I mean,
that dude is a mess.
They're not a good team. I don't.
You're speaking of hype. These two guys smoke too much grass. Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce are already calling Victor Wembanyama a top 5 player in the NBA.
Let's see something.
Yeah, it might be a bit of a stretch so far.
Exactly.
Right now, today, Wemby is one of the top 5 skilled players in the NBA. I said it right now, of today, right now.
I'm not even balking on that. You know why I'm saying that? It's because a lot of people don't understand that when you're 7'5"
and can do what KD do.
Stop, man.
You can do what Antetokounmpo do. You can do what Anthony Davis can do.
And P, he's just playing.
I mean, were they actively smoking marijuana while that was?
Didn't look that way.
That's possible.
Let's see something first before we start dropping this kid into the top 5 players in the league.
Wembayami?
Oh!
A lot of people not even willing to put Anthony Edwards in the top 10, so let's wait on this kid and putting him in the top 5.
I'll wait with you, Brad. We'll look out the window, watch some yard work get done.
Yeah, they're back. They're back.
Here's another interesting note on this year's National Basketball Association season. A record 125 players born outside the United States are on opening night rosters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question for Brad and Randy. If you count up all the players from outside the states, what is the country most represented? Go!
I couldn't tell you.
I'm going to say, I don't know. I had a guess, but I lost it.
Just say a country that you think might have some players.
Serbia.
It's Canada! Okay. Canada has 26 guys in the league.
Okay.
France is second with 14. The past 5 MVP awards have all been international players. Who are they? Go!
Greek Freak.
I just heard someone say Creek.
I said Greek Freak.
Greek Freak, Jokic, and...
Doncic?
No, Randy, you love this guy, even though he's garbage and he goes to the free throw line way too many times and he's overrated.
That didn't narrow it down very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Randy, you swing from his jock. At least you did for a...
Swing from his jock?
Stupid Joel Embiid.
Oh, I don't
that's
swing
right.
from his jock.
Yes, you do swing from his jock.
Don't.
Goes to the free throw line 36 times a night. It's frustrating.
Well,
the average price for a 16-ounce beer at a Boston Celtics game is near $20.
Oh.
Holy cow.
That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
No, gosh, pregame.
Man.
Josh would say, I'm going to have 7 of these, and then I'm going to talk to someone about the price. I'm going to drain 7 of them, and then I'll...
That's just nuts.
That is crazy.
Near $20 for a 16-ounce beer at the Boston Celtics. Same with the stupid Golden State Warriors. They want $19 for a 16-ounce beer. The best deal in the league, is at a Cleveland Cavaliers home game. A 16-ounce Steve Weiser goes for about $5.50.
I need about 20 of them to sit through a Cleveland Cavaliers game, though.
What?
They're pretty good.
I just have bad memories of the city of Cleveland. I was more taken out in Cleveland than I was.
They're
better when Ricky's playing.
Yeah.
They got a good thing going over there.
Our guy JB's the head coach. JB.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, I take that back. I apologize to the people of Cleveland.
The only reason that they know they can raise these beer prices is people are still going to buy them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Another little dirty secret. A lot of these prices went up when we went to all cashless too, because pulling out a card is a lot easier than pulling out cash if you're going to spend it.
That's smart.
Yeah, we're still going to drink them. You're absolutely right about that, Ashley. I mean, it sucks. And you buy a round for a few buddies at the game, and you go, Jesus Christ. But still going to drink them. A buddy of mine, years ago, back when I was on Facebook, before I was run out of, I was forced out of Facebook by lunatic, maniac bastards. A buddy of mine got on Facebook. Can you believe that a beer at Target Field is $12.50? This is wrong, and it's all wrong, and this and that. And then one of my buddies said, have you even been to a game? Well, no, but... well, then what the hell do you care? But don't get me wrong, it's too high, but why are you complaining about it if you never mean to go there?
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to get into this? I saw a bunch of articles written yesterday about Kevin O'Connor, and he made T.J. Hawkinson stay down yesterday during that game to save a timeout. People are making a big deal out of this.
So what? Doesn't everybody do that?
Right.
Yeah. There goes T.J. Hawkinson. This isn't good for the Vikings.
Well, I'll say this. We just caught Kevin O'Connell on camera saying, TJ, go down.
Buy him some time.
There's O'Connell telling Hawkinson to go down. He is down now, and we'll take a break.
I hate it when this happens because he sounds like so proud of himself for catching him.
Joe Buck?
Yeah.
Well, TJ Hawkinson is down and needing attention from the trainers.
He wasn't told to get down again, was he?
He was not. This feels a little more legit.
I mean, what do you think? Did he tell T.J. Hawkinson?
I think every team does.
Well,
that.
yes, but I'm asking you, do you think that O'Connor told him, hey, stay down so we can gather a little more time here?
He might have.
He definitely told him to stay down. I mean, they showed
he told
that.
him to stay down to make sure that he doesn't hurt himself even more. Maybe he did it that way.
Again, I'm not judging because every team does it. I don't care. I don't care at all.
I don't think it's a big deal.
It's more so about, if he's coming out, kind of similar to maybe, what you guys saw when we took a delay late in a previous game this year. When a guy either comes on or comes off late, we're pretty meticulous about what personnel is on the field, what we're going to call with those guys in the game. So it just allows us all a chance, to reset. And he was injured.
It's a cute spin. I like it.
Right.
Kind of confused us a little bit there, didn't he? Yeah. So you're going, wait a minute, what about earlier in the game? What? Cute spin. Just so what? It happens all the time. Right. But I saw a bunch of articles written up like Spygate, all over again.
Yeah, it's just not.
I mean, you see hockey players, goalies all the time. They need a breather? I'm going to mess with my equipment a little bit. Hey, ref, I need some time here.
The umpires will actually do that for a player that gets dinged up at the plate. They'll walk out in front. They'll sweep the home plate. They'll give the guy a chance to catch his breath. I mean, there's different variations of this in different sports. It's just not that big a deal.
Like when Josh and I played pickleball once, Josh wanted a timeout, but I know all he was doing was refilling his beer helmet. I don't know why I'm deciding to make you out to be a beer-chugging maniac this morning, but I said, you're just fixing your beer helmet, dude. You don't need a timeout. Come on.
I can go through 24 ounces pretty quick. Left one gone, right one gone.
Well, yeah, so who cares about this stupid? Did he tell him to? I don't know. I don't know why they're always trying me like that, Randy. They're trying me. Kirk Cousins should be ashamed of himself at this point for ripping off the Texas Rangers Creed gimmick. He thinks he's cute with this.
And I got to say it, Creed. I'm getting my ankles taped pregame. Suddenly it comes on. And Garrett Bradbury's doing some body work next to me. And he goes, forget this. I got to go enjoy this with the boys. So he then gets up and goes in the locker room. And I get my ankles taped and we go in there. It's really good morale. And then we go to pray in the corner of the locker room. And any guys that want to pray and turn the Creed off. And Harrison Smith made a great point. He said, guys, this is the prayer. But they keep playing higher, and I'm going, Creed has a lot of hits. They got a good catalog. We don't have to only play higher, but they're taking us higher, so we'll take it.
Should be ashamed of himself. What do you think? The rest of us don't have the internet? We don't know that this was the Texas Rangers bit?
Well, he did say that's how they came up with it, right? They said it was working for them, so we're going to give it a shot.
And look at it this way, everybody. What if in 1991, when the Atlanta Falcons were clearly too legit to quit, what if a couple weeks later, say, the Miami Dolphins suddenly claimed that they were too legit to quit?
What?
You heard me.
I did hear you, yes.
Yeah, there's an adult version of that song.
That's a Weird Al parody I've never heard before.
You don't know Weird Al's catalog?
If he hadn't thought of it before, he sure will now.
Randy Shaver, what if some other baseball team in 1979 claimed that they are family after the Pittsburgh Pirates did? We would have run them out of town, wouldn't we?
Probably.
Too legit to clit, you guys think I said.
I was too mature to comment.
I didn't say that.
The looks on everybody's face, this was great.
Yeah, namely mine. Can't believe that one. All right, finally. Christian McCaffrey is the guy who just played here in town for the, what do you call that ball club? 49ers. He has made history. I missed this. He scored a touchdown in that ball game the other night against the Vikings. He's gotten himself into the end zone 16 straight games. There were two players who held the record, scoring in 15 straight games. Who were they? Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. One of them became wildly infamous off the field.
I would say O.J. Simpson.
That's right. At one point, he scored 15 games in a row. The other...
How about LaDainian Tomlinson?
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
He scored a lot of touchdowns. No.
Emmitt Smith.
Pardon me?
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith is also a great guess. He scored a lot of touchdowns. This guy was kind of didn't quite look like an athlete. Closed his career out in the mid-'80s. I think he won a Super Bowl MVP with Washington.
John Riggins.
John Riggins scored 15 games in a row. So there you go. McCaffrey.
That's back when the NFL was slower and heavier.
Yes.
John Riggins was not a fast guy.
Very much slower and heavier and more methodical.
Yes.
That's how you do it right there. All right, I'm out of gas. What? Why is that so funny?
You're
because
just exhausted,
you're too legit.
aren't you? Yes.
Yeah. Too legit to quit. Remember that friggin' scene?
Oh, yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons? Prime time. And We Are Family? The 1979
Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates?
MC Hammer was the first concert I ever went to.
Dude, that's a cool story.
You've told us that before. That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
The first concert you ever went to. So was that on his big tour when he had the hit single?
Was at the Met Center? Boy, I want to say late 80s, early 90s.
Picturing young Brad in parachute pants right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But what was the big single again? I can't come up with it.
Well, that was one of his hit singles.
Well, no, the big one, the one that got him going.
Hammer Time?
No. Yeah, Can't Touch This.
Can't Touch
Yeah.
It. There it
No,
is.
no.
Was that when that single went number one
Sure.
and stayed there for 6 months? Was Vanilla Ice the opening act?
Yeah,
Oh, that's sweet.
That is sweet.
Yeah. he was.
That is so awesome.
At Met Center. Boy, I should look this up and see when that was. But, yeah.
Was it sold smooth out?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And were you dancing in the aisles and
Of
things
course
like
I
that?
was.
Really?
Is that
Tough
the
not
song?
to.
Is that the song?
First concert in college off the farm? Are you kidding me?
That's pretty hilarious. I would have thought it would have been like, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers or something like that, or, Brooks and Dunn or something like that.
No, I just looked it up. It was September. This is right. September 23rd, 1990.
September 23rd, 1990. That was 6 days after my 19th birthday.
That was 7 years before my first.
I'm looking at the tour list right now. They played in Cedar Rapids, Iowa a few nights before the Met Center gig.
Dude,
that would have been fun.
Effing Randy.
Do you think MC Hammer's been back to Cedar Rapids, Iowa since then?
What do you think MC
Cedar Rapids
Hammer
is not the same after MC Hammer showed up.
What do you think MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice made of Cedar Rapids?
Oh my gosh. They played at the 5 Seasons Center.
Dude, that's funny. Did you get a T-shirt, Brad?
No.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. I think that was the prior record. And then he came out with the You Can't Touch This record, and everything went crazy there for a while. Crazy. That's a great story. Here's a listener who says Brad just aged himself.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
No, we don't have a problem with that. We do that.
I'm 55.
Earlier, Josh and I were going on and on about Anthrax's single "I'm the Man." We're not afraid of that around here. Not afraid of that. All right, we'll let the boys roll on out of here.
Is it Clinton time already?
It is. And we'll talk with Randy tomorrow and Brad on. Do I have the right day of the week here? Wednesday?
Yeah. Today's Wednesday.
Yep, you're right.
Oh, Josh.
Get the hell out of here, the both of you. Thanks very much.
See ya.
We'll be wrapping with Marcus Foligno of the Man Bear Pigs here shortly, so come on back.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Every Monday, Rich Eisen and Chris Brockman react to what's happening in the world of football on Overreaction Monday.
Dolphins, Final Four AFC team. Oh, that is not an overreaction at all. I'm with you.
You're in.
I am in. The other 3 Final Four teams, if you were asking me to call my shot, this is the Overreaction Monday podcast.
Call your shot.
Entertainment purposes only, unless I'm right.
Yeah.
Chiefs, Dolphins, Bills, Ravens. Final Four.
Overreaction Monday, the podcast, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
This show plays too many ads.
I wonder if there's anybody on the line that might agree with that.
Let's pull in our newest pal. It's a beautiful, budding new relationship. We're still a little nervous because we want it to turn into something. We're a little afraid to make the first move. Coming off a win last night over Edmonton, it's Pigs winger Marcus Foligno. Good morning, Marcus.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me back on.
Well, you don't sound that excited about it because we're playing too many ads. What's going on?
No, I know. This is a great relationship. We're starting off on the right foot. Look forward to a third date.
Yeah. We did notice you didn't text. There was no follow-up text or anything like that. You're playing hard to get.
We heard a story that maybe you have beef with our program. We heard that you listened to it a little bit in your free time and you didn't like how many ads we push at you.
Man, I gotta watch what I say to who I say it to. So I guess get back around. But no, I put it on, and they just say I get it. Ads pay the bills, I guess. So that's how it works.
That's right. That's how we pay the bills, and we're not mad at you. We're not mad at you because we might once in a while try to critique what you do. Like you guys should shoot the puck more,
especially
right.
the power play.
Absolutely.
Shoot the puck.
Why can't you make that 5-foot pass to the guy standing right next to you? Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Hey, thanks for listening to the program.
No, absolutely. No, like I said, you guys asked me you guys told me to ask you guys some questions, so I was like, I gotta listen to this more, and so I've been doing it. I've been tuning in on my ride to the rink, so it's been good.
You're the best. You're the friggin' best. And a special thanks for joining us this morning after having such a late night affair with the Edmonton Oilers last night with the 8 o'clock start. For God's sake, what time do you get out of the locker room after an 8 o'clock deal?
Yeah, I think I got home at 12:30 last night, so it's just one of those, like, I kind of linger around the room at after games and stuff, and yeah, I know that last night it was like the first time ever we had all 16 games on. Every team was playing. It was hockey frenzy or whatever they called it on ESPN. So it was an exciting night, but it definitely 8 o'clock start felt like a playoff type of game. We usually get those starts in the playoffs. So, but it was good to come away with the win, and guys had a really good game.
Yeah, what's with this? 11 goals in a game, and you guys scored, what was the final, 7-4 last night? What's with pumping all these? You even got one last night, even though it was an empty net goal. We should have told you a long time ago. That's against the rules around here.
They don't ask how, they ask how many, right? So that's I'm good with it. It's the bodies are when the goal is out, but yeah, I know. You know what? We're trying to keep things tight defensively. I know giving up 4 is not ideal, but our offense has been good. It's always been there this year, and we're not worried about that side of it. I think we just got to tighten up things on defense, but we're confident in the offensive side of the puck, and I think our first line with Kirill Kaprizov, Matt Zuccarello, and Ryan Hartman, they really led the way last night, and it was fun to watch, and some unbelievable passing plays, and they made it look pretty easy last night. So it's always good when those big guys are going.
Friggin' Ryan Hartman, hat trick and 5 points on the night.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Since first shift, I remember having he was unreal. I think he had about 2 or 3 chances of scoring early in the first period, and it just felt like one of those nights. The puck was kind of glued to his stick, and he ended up with 5 points, and it was a big reason why we won. So it was an awesome effort by him, and he's a great guy. So it's good to see guys like that get rewarded.
Well, last night was a home game, so most of you just head back to the house when the game's over. But like say, when you're on the road, let's say you got 3-4 games in a row on the road. Do you guys have little agreements where the top point getter doesn't have to buy beers later? If a guy gets a hat trick, he gets dinner on his teammates or anything like that?
Yeah, usually you kind of, or maybe he is not buying the rounds, or maybe the guys that or maybe he's the guy that whoever scores the most is setting up or buying the rounds for the teammates who are passing it to him. So that's usually how it rolls. But we usually give a lot of guys some heck with the next game, putting some money up on the board for the team find fund. Usually, the team find fund is a little bit of a good way of having all the guys together and getting some beers and hanging out. So if you have a good night, you usually get hassled for the next game to put some money on the board to incentive to win. And I think we'll be doing that to Hartman next game.
The team fine fund. What is that exactly now?
It's pretty much just a fund. We got a credit card, and it's little things, right? If you play, say I play my brother in Chicago, I got to put some money up on the board, and if we win, we collect that money. So it's and then it goes towards the team. Everything, you can go out for drinks or dinner, and it's the card usually pays for it, and usually collect a lot of a good amount, and you spoil yourselves with it a little bit. So it's at the end of the day, you can use it on yourselves, but it sucks when you got to go up there for little milestones and guys hitting 100 game mark or 500 game marks, 1,000 game marks. Guys put some money up just for an incentive to win that night. So it all goes to a pot, and we get to use it.
That's really cool.
We should do that around here.
Yeah, we should.
The stakes would be a lot lower.
Yeah.
Like a penny jar?
Yeah. The restaurants would be a lot less fancy.
Yeah.
Listeners are telling me via text machine. We've got an active text machine here at the radio station, Marcus Foligno, where our listeners can get us instant messages, and it's great for when we got characters like yourselves on the air because they send in their questions. You got Fleury in the mug with a pie the other night. Was that when he won the game in Montreal?
Yeah, you know what? It's been a special season. We don't know if this is Marc-Andre Fleury's last year playing, so that was all signs kind of point to it, but we don't want to assume anything. He's such a good player, a great teammate, and him being from Montreal and possibly being the last game, it was a big night for him and his family. So he's usually the one that's pranking guys and throwing pies in guys' face. So I got the shaving cream on a towel and got him pretty good when he was doing his French-Canadian interview. So
that's hilarious.
It was good. It was a good little thing to get him back, and I know he enjoyed it a little bit. But it was just a special moment for Marc-Andre Fleury and for our team to get a big win in Montreal from that. Possibly could be the last game he plays in Montreal.
He seems like such a likable guy, Marc Fleury.
Yeah, he is. It's kind of crazy. He's excited every day and just excited to be at the rink, and it's infectious, the type of energy that guy brings. And he's awesome. You can tell why he's been doing it for such a long time. It's not a job to him. It's just honestly just he loves the game so much. So him coming to the room and seeing how the smile on his face and the way he works hard in practice and even in games, it's infectious for our whole lineup. So it's unbelievable to have a guy like that who's been in the league for so long act like a rookie every game. So it's been awesome.
But, it's kind of not fair. What is he closing in on 40 years old here pretty soon, Marc-Andre Fleury?
Yeah.
So here he is, this terrific athlete, this all-timer. And also, he's closing in on 40 and gets to still look like he's 22 years old.
I know. He doesn't age that bad. So he's got the, no gray hairs, things like that. He still looks like the young skin. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think he might spend his summers in Vegas. So I don't know if it's a nice heat. He's down there soaking up the sun. So he definitely looks like he did when he first came in the league.
He's got all his friggin' hair.
He's got the hair. I mean, right there, that's something else.
Does he have the most beautiful hair on the hockey club? Who's got the best salad?
Oh, man.
Yeah, tell us the best and then the worst.
Best and worst salad breakdown.
Best hair, I mean, it's got to be, I don't think Jonas Brodin gets a lot of credit. His is like that it falls nicely, It's got the little string of hair in front of his forehead that dangles. It's got that little blonde touch curl to it. So
he has pretty hair.
Almost like an emo type of a thing. You know what I mean? Where
like a Swedish emo.
It kind of falls by his ears. Yeah.
I gotta say, Marcus, you got a nice head of hair on you.
Well,
you'd be.
What? I never want to be the one. I got the best hair on the team. I just didn't want to put it right away. But
I don't think a lot of people would argue with that.
I know the worst player on the team. It's going to be probably Brandon Duhaime or Joel Eriksson. Joel Eriksson's got the curly fry hair, but it doesn't know what it wants to do. And then Brandon Duhaime, he just never does his hair. It's always in a mop or a hat or something. So he just doesn't take care of it. He might have some spider cobwebs in there. So it's just all those things that.
Cooties.
You got these guys who've got great hair but doesn't know how to work it. So that's the issue.
You got to know what you're doing. Yeah, I mean. If I still had some hair, Marcus Foligno, I'd pay a lot of attention to it. I would.
Me too.
I would.
That's what's nice about being in that. You're not allowed to wear helmets now. You're supposed to wear your helmet in warm-ups for the younger guys coming in. I guess there's a new rule that's put in place. So I'm happy I'm a little bit older where it doesn't affect me. So I'm able to go no bucket in warm-ups and just let it flow and enjoy it. So it sucks for those young guys that have nice hair, they got to still wear their helmet in warm-ups to not have that feel of the nice wind in their face.
Oh, is that a new rule now? Yeah. I mean, you've got beautiful hair. You should show it off. I wasn't aware of that. So now you have to be grandfathered in order to do warm-ups without a bucket.
Yeah, they just put that rule in, I think 2 seasons ago or last year. But, anyone like on an entry-level contract, like a young kid, pretty much can't be easy to keep the bucket on. So,
have you ever clunked somebody in the skull during warm-ups when they weren't wearing a lid?
Oh, I mean, like there's some times where you hit a crossbar and the puck comes flying and it hits the guy in the face, and you're just like, like it's just one of those things. You just, oh man, I've been hit in the back of the head, and it doesn't feel great. You're thinking I should just wear a helmet, but I try to stay away from the net. As soon as I shoot, I curl away as fast as I can. We got some guys that like to rip pucks from different angles, so I guess you just got to keep an eye out. But so far, it's been a while since that happened.
Well, that's a real shame that the young fella's got to put a helmet on.
I'd feel so stupid.
Well, why would you feel stupid?
Well, just all the older guys out there looking cool without the helmets on, and here I come wearing my helmet. Hi guys, hi, I'm here too. Wow.
I know we're just trying to grow the game. That's what we always say. You take the helmet off, you got to try to grow the game. So
okay,
it sucks. They're not allowing it for these young guys anymore. So and they're the ones with probably the nicer hair now. So
well, yeah, and I mean that's how you draw in the ladies. During warm-ups.
Heck it's my favorite part.
When growing up,
exactly.
Yeah, you want to show off your hairdo to the young ladies in town, or especially if you're on the road. Hey, ladies of Nashville, here's how pretty I am. And I remember players who really thrived on it. Now I'm not trying to criticize these guys because I would have done the same damn thing. But like when I was growing up, there was a Ron Duguay.
Oh, Ron Duguay, yeah, that guy loved his hair.
Oh, he had massive. He looked like John Bon Jovi. He really did.
Yeah.
Ron Duguay in 1982 looked like John Bon Jovi in the Living on a Prayer video.
Whoa, I just looked it up. Yeah, you're not kidding.
And Doug Wilson had beautiful big curly hair.
Yeah, everyone had the long hair back then, the curls, and
yeah.
and no one really even played with helmets sometimes, and they just let it go. They look old time hockey. That's old time hockey.
Mike Modano and Darian Hatcher had gorgeous mullets and
boy,
whatnot.
you're not kidding.
Yeah, that's too bad. Oh! Speaking of being on the road now, Marcus Foligno, your next game is tomorrow night in Philadelphia. And speaking of warm-ups, how much money do you need from the 93X Half-Fast Morning Show? And I don't know, you check with the rule makers. Would you wear an Arizona Diamondbacks cap during warm-ups for that game in Philly?
That would be awesome. I don't think.
Would you make it on live?
We should all wear Arizona Diamondbacks caps on there. That'd be a great start to the game.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think
that would be fun. That's smart to think about that.
You've probably heard of this from the young guys, and that's trolling, I believe, is the word, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's even better because we're not even from Arizona, so it'd just be comical and that stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna run that by the guys and see what they say.
Dude, I mean, could you, for the older guys, whoever can go out there without a helmet, is that even possible, or would the NHL just be furious with such a thing?
That's okay. You guys can take care of the fine.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a fund for that.
Jeez, I don't know.
Fast food fund.
I don't know if we could handle that friggin' fine, but.
Yeah.
But that'd be a good idea to get that Philly crowd. Not that they're already kind of pissy going into it. You know.
Oh, I know.
Their baseball team.
What a series.
Yeah, that was great. Did you get a chance to? Oh no, you were playing last night. What am I talking about?
Yeah, we have a trainer, John Worley, who's from Philadelphia, so he was pretty down the dumps after. But it was I just couldn't believe it. You know, the Phillies seemed pretty powerful too, and. It's good going in there. I mean, maybe the fans will be a little bit down Thursday night when we play them, so it will be in our favor. But that's a big sports town too. So they're going to be hurting this next couple of days.
Yeah, you might be catching them when they're down, but it's still to this. I don't care how many. I said this earlier, Marcus. I don't care how many times I see it. It's still so much fun to watch an underdog just club a team. You know, club the favorite. When it matters most. That's a blast.
That's the best thing about sports, I think. Just a team that doesn't have a chance that can beat a top dog. So that's what makes our sport so great too. You see teams that come in the 8th seed in playoffs, right, and sweep or beat a first place seed. So that's what makes it so great.
Yeah, look at Florida last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there you go, bro. We appreciate your time again. Like I said earlier, especially after a late night game, and good luck in Philadelphia tomorrow night. And we'll be speaking soon.
Thank you. All right, stay tuned. You might see some Arizona caps on the ice and warm up.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Cool. So. If that happens, I am going to spit my beer all over the guy sitting next to me. That would be so beautiful.
That would be huge.
I mean, Twitter and all the social media would go nuts with that.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got Kyle Schwarber looking for you at a bar, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would be something.
I'll have to run it by Aaron Sickman first to see if he allows it.
He doesn't make any damn rules.
We make the rules, not him.
That's
thanks,
right.
Marcus. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on again.
Yeah.
Appreciate
it.
We'll
Marcus
text you when appropriate. We'll give it a couple of
days.
days.
Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Luther Kia of Bloomington brings you our conversation with Marcus Foligno. We got to take a breather.
Real quick, I want to say, I was thinking about that. You know, who could pay the fine or whatever. Dan Dingman, the general manager at Luther Kia of Bloomington. You know him. We've known him for years.
Oh, he's got money.
Awesome guy. Best buns in the car business, by the way. I mean, honestly, you want to go and have a good experience at a car dealership and check out some really nice buns and the general manager, Dinger. That's the guy. But he's the biggest hockey fan I've ever met.
Is he?
Oh, he goes to all the Wild games. All his kids play hockey, everything. I could see him considering at least paying that fine to watch them wear the Diamondback.
We'll keep that in mind. It's always fun to have rich friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
That can bail you out.
Rich
That's
friends
what you need.
that can bail you out of trouble. Hell of a deal.
Half-assed Morning Show. 93X.
Well, there you go. Squeaking out of here in a few minutes. What the hell else is going on? I'm sorry to tell you, we Minnesotans did not crack this top 10 that I'm about to tell you about. Just once, I want us here in Minnesota to win one of these things, one of these more offbeat, low-life type rankings. You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
We don't get a lot of those.
We never seem to finish high in these fun rankings. We did not crack the top 10, of the states that swear the most.
I think that kind of makes sense. I'd be surprised if we had made this list.
Yeah, me
Would
too.
you really? I don't know. I hear quite a bit of swearing.
Really? Everyone I know cusses like a drunken sailor.
Yeah, I know a lot of swearers.
With the exception of my mother, I would say. Everyone else I know probably curses too damn much, and I'm including myself. We did not make the top 10 list of states that swear the most. Number one of all time. Well, at least this year. They checked, someone checked social media. That's how they put the numbers together. That's how they did the arithmetic. Texas. They swear the most. And particularly checking on, social media posts, they dump in nearly 7 curse words per post.
That's a bit excessive.
I would have guessed like a New York.
Yeah.
For that. Which I don't think they even made the list.
They didn't make the top 10 either, Cubby.
Yeah.
Well,
surprising.
Dana, you're constantly on social media to the point where listeners have they're starting a petition.
They can just unfollow me.
check your last 5-6 posts. Do you swear in there at all? Do you make a point to keep it clean on social media?
I keep it clean. I think I did swear yesterday.
Okay,
though.
look up your last 5 posts and tell us how many curse words are in there. Or are they so lengthy that you couldn't do that in the remaining?
Tweets are just a couple sentences long.
Oh, okay.
I did use the SH word yesterday. In
You
the
did?
Tweet. Yeah.
Were you describing Wapple's broadcasting skills?
Bro, why would you do that?
No, I was. I canceled Amazon Prime. And then somebody reminded me that the Bills play on Amazon Prime tomorrow. So
looks like you'll be back soon.
They already have me back after a day of canceling.
Yeah, you are pretty clean on Twitter for the most part.
Out of curiosity, why did you post that you were canceling a streaming service?
Because it felt like I said.
Is that what Twitter is or X is nowadays?
Yeah, you just kind of throw random thoughts out into the void. I just said I was happy with it because it felt like I got out of a toxic relationship.
Oh, well, then I want everyone to know, if we're going to publicize this, I recently became a Stars subscriber.
Look at you. I'm not trying to bomb you here, Dana.
No, that's fine.
But that's part of the reason why I couldn't stand social media when I was there. Is some dildo would today I think I'm going to up and go to Hardee's. Nobody cares. I don't friggin' care. Why are you telling people about a trip? Now,
I care.
Not that I don't care about Hardee's. It's not about Hardee's. I love Hardee's. I'm just saying, why do we give a rat's ass what you're having to eat?
It's all very pointless. You're right.
But here's the deal, at least according to social media. The top 10 swearingest states. It's all kind of middle of nowhere stuff. I don't know. Maybe we're more foul the further we get away from civilization. Number 10 is Idaho. I haven't even heard someone say Idaho in a decade. It's been probably 10 years since I heard someone say Idaho.
Yeah, people don't talk about Idaho enough.
Have you ever met somebody who was from Idaho?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Montana's
I have a couple
as
Twitter
close
friends
as I
that are
could.
from Idaho.
You have Twitter friends?
Yeah.
What are they having for lunch? Are they going to swing by?
I'm sure I'll find out.
Hey, Kidney Stone Jesus has texted in Dana and says, can you let Dana know it's not an airport so he doesn't have to announce his departures?
Number 9 is Oklahoma. 8, Louisiana. 7, Indiana. You see what I mean? Middle of nowheres. 6, the Iowegians. 5, Missouri. Never heard of it. 4, Tennessee. 3, Florida. 2, Ohio. And number 1 is Texas. I want to see us in there. Doesn't necessarily have to be swearing, but like I said already, I want to see us in some of these more low-life type rankings. We never seem to get that respect.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. The list surprised me. I was thinking Florida was probably the only one I could have guessed on that list.
All the old people cursing at how expensive things are nowadays and stuff like that. This is a good point. Texter says Minnesotans are too smart to curse on permanent record or on public postings.
Accurate, yeah.
That's probably the truth.
By the way, this is great. I just throw it out as an aside. Thank you for everyone congratulating me on signing up for Stars and making some suggestions on what I should be watching on that. I do appreciate that.
Oh, man. Stars, huh? Let's cover that in our first conversation tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to get back on social media and I'll talk about it a little bit. By the way, I'm paying $4. That gave me 4 months. Got a promotional code.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Josh's daily stars update.
Yeah, or the coupons that I found. Safe travels to Crazy Fish Guy Jesus, Marissa, Talia, Kim, Kaylee, Eli, and Hunter. They're taking the red eye to D.C. tomorrow.
What the hell for?
Happy birthday to living the dream one nightmare at a time, Jesus, formerly Walleye Guy Jesus. Happy 53rd birthday to Up at the Crack of Dawn, Jesus. And right now, on our Luther Bloomington Kia text line, who just brought us our interview with Marcus Foligno of the Wild, text the word chapter, 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 to 651-989-9393, and you get a shot to win the 93X Twin City Takeover tickets featuring Stained, I Prevail, Asking Alexandria, and Dayseeker. This will be on Star Wars Day, Saturday, May 4th at XL Energy Center, furnished by Live Nation. Good luck.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.